All right, welcome race fans. Here we are tonight at Daytona International Speedway. My fellow co-commentator here in the booth with me, Petey Zeller. Welcome, Petey.
Hey Rudy, just can't wait to watch 200 laps of trucks at Daytona on the Mrs. Dockside 500. Should be a spectacular event. Some of the biggest names in sim racing have come out. They're all racing for the grand prize, which is $1,000 to the winner. As of right now, there are 41 drivers in the session, and that number could go up to 43 if a couple guys could fix some connection issues. So, as of right now, we are in for a lot of trucks, a lot of action, and a lot of laps, Rudy.
Oh, I agree. Some of the, like you said, some of the biggest names in iRacing out here, and all competing for that top prize of $1,000. This is going to be interesting, to say the least. 200 laps, 500 miles, long race. The guys got to be patient out here, as we were talking earlier. You and I and a few of the other drivers. The guys are going to have to take it easy and don't try to win it on the first lap. We always see, sometimes going into the turn one on the very first lap, there's a big pileup, and we just don't want to see that here tonight. Not when they're competing with for high dollars at stake.
Oh yeah, and the action and tempers will be flaring tonight. When you're racing for $1,000, and just to clarify, first is 1,000, second's 100, third is 75, fourth is I believe 62 or something like that, and then fifth is 50. So right now, it's going to be, you need to get top 5. You paid a lot of money to get in this race. You have to pay $25 entry fee, and from what I understand, along with the heats and qualifying sessions, by the time it's all said and done, you're paying about $32. You want to come in here, and you're only in here for one reason, and that's to make money. And there's 41 guys in here whose plan is to make money, but only 5 of them will, so it should be really interesting to watch those guys to see if moving forward they can achieve their goal. I think it's going to be very exciting, but it's definitely going to be a challenge for most of these guys. I mean, like you said and I said, we're going against some of the best drivers in sim racing, and getting a top 5 is going to be more difficult said than done, so just a lot of temper is going to be flaring tonight whenever some contact's made that's controversial.
Yeah, absolutely. A few of the sponsors that are going to be on board here with us tonight: Professional Racing Online Series, or Pros, Mrs. Dockside Realty, Barks Competition Karting, and Bones Racing. So thanks to all of them for sponsoring this. This is a huge event here in iRacing, 500 miles. Wow. Daytona does produce some of the greatest racing here, though. The super speedway racing. We're going to see drafting. We're going to see tight, close racing, 2, 3, and possibly even, I heard a couple of the drivers say we might see some 4-wide down the backstretch. So that's going to be exciting, Petey.
Well, that'd be amazing if we saw them go 4-wide down the backstretch. These guys are finishing up their last 8 minutes of practice. One guy I think we're definitely have to watch out for tonight is the guy who's put on this event and put on a lot of events like this in the past. That is George Bark, owner of Bark Competition. Always puts on great events. Really thankful for him to have this race broadcast and to put on such a great event for the community to race in. But as of right now, he is saying 16th in practice. But we're at super speedways. Everything's so tight, it doesn't matter where you are. You can be dead last in practice and win the race because it's a super speedway. Times don't matter. It just matters who's the luckiest. And one interesting thing to note in this race is you will see on the thing that is 212 laps, but it's actually 200. The only reason he has it set for 212 is that if there's a caution, he wants to do green, white, checkered. So this race will have green, white, checkered finishes if needed, but if not, this race will end at lap 201. So this race will go only 500 miles unless overtime is needed. So do not be fooled by 212 laps. It's not in use unless needed.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool aspect that George has implemented here at Pros League, that he does do that green, white, checkered thing. A lot of people don't do that, and I really like it. We hate to see a race finish under caution, and so many times we see that happen. And this kind of gives that couple more chances there to try to get that to where it will finish under green, and it actually gives the drivers another chance to win, instead of just falling back in 3rd or 4th or 5th place and you got no chance of winning. You finish under caution.
That's always disappointing as a driver. You go in, you fight for a long race, and then when it's all said and done, I mean, you could have been leading, but the caution flag scored you in second behind the guy. There goes $1,000 out the window. You only get 1/10 of that 100 if you finish second. But if they do the green-white checkered, you have an equal opportunity to win as the other guy. So it just really takes away that frustrating scenario, and it will really make it a spectacular thing to watch. And there can be up to 3, just like in NASCAR. The way they set it up is so that if needed, there will be 3 green-white checkered. So if they just keep wrecking, obviously it's gonna end under green eventually. But it's like that in all racing series. So I expect to see a finish under green. Those spectacular group of guys. I don't even expect to see that many cautions tonight. But either way, we're in for a long run. 500 laps under green is pretty long, but 500 laps under yellow is long too. Hopefully, we'll see a lot of green.
I think 200 laps. You mean?
500 miles.
500 miles, right. Okay. Green flag pit stops, one of my favorite things, PD. I love to see green flag pit stops. That kind of puts it all in the driver's hand, because too many times we've seen races won or lost on pit road, and it really does put the pressure on the drivers, and we see a lot of mistakes made. And I've seen guys slide onto pit road, lose it coming in, brake too hard, go across that commitment cone and out into the grass, spin it. Guys get into them. Maybe a couple of guys get into it on pit road and somebody gets spun. So it's really kind of puts it into the driver's hands. See them slide through their pit stop and have to back up. Very costly on pit road. It can cost you a second or two, and that second or two can mean the world of being out there winning or not.
Hey, Rudy.
Yes.
We're going to be going live here in about 2 minutes. We're going to wait on one more guy, and then we're going to be going live.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead then, and I will play the national anthem now then and get that out of the way.
All right, brother. 10-4.
Okay, thank you, George.
All right, thanks, guys.
Hey, George.
Okay, PD, we'll be right back.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay, PD, we're back.
All right.
Do we want to run down the grid right now, or do we want to wait till they make their pace lap? How do you want to do it?
Oh, we don't know the grid yet, Rudy.
I thought they already did it.
Oh, no, it won't go up until they start gridding. So whenever they start gridding, we can go through it.
Oh, okay. I don't do many of these tournament styles, so I'm not exactly 100% sure how all that works.
How's it work right now so that they don't hear us?
Oh, they're hearing us.
Oh, okay.
We're live. We're live on YouTube right now, buddy.
Okay, guys. Well, so far in practice, actually, we have seen a tie at the top between Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert. So they both have run a 47.400, so very close times there. And actually for third and fourth is tied too with a 4.41. So very close times here so far. It's been fun to watch these guys go up and down the racetrack right now. I mean, there's just multi-grooves at Daytona. We're going to see some spectacular racing tonight. And right now, Rudy, as we look at this, right now it looks as though we're going to see 42 cars. So we're just going to see one short of a full grid tonight.
Wow, that's amazing. Gosh, I don't think I've ever done a race that's had a full field. I really don't.
Well, we came pretty dang close tonight.
Yes, we did.
Looks like some guys are struggling though right now with the draft. This is a very, very special kind of draft. Bump draft is what they use in the truck. So a couple of the guys down towards the back, 39th and 38th, good friends and partners, Travis Brown, Ryan Borges. They've both are like almost second behind the leader. So those guys are struggling right now. Although both of them are very spectacular racers, I expect to get them together. Travis Brown actually, last time they did a big money race, it was $500 to win. They did that in the summer. George Bark also hosting that. Travis Brown actually won that race over Ryan Borges. This one was at Talladega. Travis Brown took that money and bought a real world go-kart with it. So just from a single online racing event, Travis Brown got to fulfill his dream of real life racing. It's very, very cool how that happened.
Yeah, that is very cool. Yeah, I remember hearing about that, and I've talked to Travis since then, and yeah, he was very, very like ecstatic about that, winning $500. Just that's amazing. That's an amazing feat, and he is a good driver.
Oh, and same with Ryan Borges. I mean, we were talking about earlier, he's come a long, long way in the past year or so. I mean, he's one of the better sim racers there is at this point in time.
Yes, sir. All right, we're about to head down here and get this thing kicked off. See, they've advanced. I think they advanced the session here. So, all right, we're taking to the grid here. And we can do the rundown then, right? Yeah, we can go ahead and line them up here. Chris Jennings on the pole. Chris Jennings on the pole in number 88. Great job by him for winning that pole. Mark Maffett in second place in the number 67. Nigel DeJong in the third place in number 26. In fourth place, Michael Vandesdaal, I believe that is, in the number 83. Everett F. Lane in the number 25, starting 5th. James Hickson in the number 44, starting 6th. Mitchell Reeves in the 02, starting 7th. Rod Ronimus Jr. in the number 2, starting in the 8th position. Cecil Renee in the number 64, starting 9th. And Brandon Cruz in the number 54, starting 10th. Petey?
11th. In 11th tonight is number 33 of Ryan Borges. Starting in 12th is the number 85 machine of Francisco Scarmuza. 13th, the big winner from last time they did one of these, Travis Brown in his number 41. 14th, Luke Fleming in the number 75. 15th, Nick Doucette in the number 7 machine. 16th goes the number 24 of Sean Boundy. Number 15 machine driven by Ronald Huggins Jr. starting 17th, and 18th to the 19 of Jay Anderson. 19th to Bobby Stewart in the 16th, and round out your top 20 is the number 42 of George Bark, Rudy.
All right, Jeremiah Jensen in the number 98, starting on pit road, I believe, or something here in the 21st position. Eric Wortley in number 93, starting 22nd. Danny Rude starting in the number 18, starting 23rd. Corey Ross in the number 23, starting 24th. And Michael Johnson in the 004, starting 25th. Gary Bauer in the 27, starting 26th. John Mushton in the 12, starting 27th. Stephen Hendren in the number 30, starting 28th. Billy Cross starting 29th in the 34. Robert Riley in the number 39, starting 30th. Petey?
31st to Jeffrey Smith in 36th. Number 51, Dustin Lee starting 32nd. Karsten DeJohn Tomaso starting in 33rd. 34th, Damon Gilbert. 35th, Eric M. Wilson. 36th, Scott Zemke. 37th to Evan Schrum. 38th to Martin Backer. 39th to Kenneth Wright. 40th to Kevin Surrey. 41st to Mr. Excitement TJ Graves. And rounding out your field is Daniel Ebhart. And sorry we had to quick that up. We're about to go green. Down to you, Rudy.
Yeah. We're up here and ready. Just making sure. And green is out, and here we go.
Green, green, green. These drivers are taking off. Our pole setter gets a great restart here, and he actually is going to pull away, but that's not a good thing at Daytona. You need the draft, so the 26 is going to pull up right on his rear bumper, but on the outside, 2 cars already hooked up is the 67 of Mark Moffitt. On right with him is Michael Van Adel, and Michael is trying to push his partner to the lead. They're going to come out of turn number 2. Dead heat, Rudy.
Absolutely. Great job by these guys back here. Mitchell Reeves in 7th. Wow, these guys are really starting to show some patience out here so early. This is they're getting single file. We got a little bit of a high line there with the number 33 Ryan Borges on the high side, and that's Travis Brown working with him.
Yeah, Travis Brown, and then what we talked about earlier, Travis Brown and Ryan Borges, best friends off the track, best friends on the track. They're going to work together a lot tonight. Travis Brown won the last one, Ryan Borges came 2nd. I'm sure Ryan Borges wants to see the reverse of that. Here they come on the outside, charging hard. They're already to the outside of Chris Jennings. They're up to 3rd and 4th. The second they clear him, and he has no help, so they should have no issue doing that. And Ryan Borges, Travis Brown are coming hard on the outside, and they're already up to the lead tandem, Rudy.
Yeah, and just note real quick, Mark Moffitt did lead that first lap, but I'll tell you, as hard as Ryan Borges and Travis Brown are coming, I'll tell you what, they are wanting to get up there and lead this second lap. So not that the laps count as, you know, a lead lap, but they do clear them and take over the lead right now. Ryan Borges in the lead.
So Ryan Borges leading early. That looks like a really strong tandem here early in the event. I'm looking for some more action. We see some action right around the 12th position. Actually make that 11th. Francisco Scarmuza and Brandon Monsivice. They're going to try to make themselves up to the front. That's another tandem that's worked together fast to get past a bunch of cars. They are currently just, you know, trying to keep it easy around the 10th position. They're right where they want to be. Making moves in front of those Mitchell Reeves and Everett Lane, Rudy.
Yeah, they're working that high side too. And I think they're going to try the Ryan Borges Travis Brown trick there and maybe get up here. They're using a little bit of side draft coming out of the turn right now, trying to keep it down low and get a little side draft off of the number 88 of Chris Jennings. Chris not having a partner right now, but he may wind up hooking up with somebody here before long. Him and Nigel could get together. But that's the whole secret here, is having a partner and sticking with that partner just as much as you can.
And right now, 2 partners that really seem to stick out like a sore thumb is Travis Brown, Ryan Borges, and Mitchell Reeves and Everett Lane. Everett Lane's a very well-known super speedway racer, and I'm sure he wants to get up there. These are 2 tandems that I thought were going to get to the front. I didn't think they'd get to the front this quickly, but hey, they surprised me, and they're already there. So top 2 tandems are them, and here comes Everett Lane to the outside. The top 2 are actually separated a little bit. Travis Brown blinked out, a connection issue for the 41 machine. So neither of them are connected right now, so it's just kind of side drafting for the lead. Mitchell Reeves, that is Everett Lane actually. Everett Lane has a great run off the corner. Travis Brown's going to get to his bumper, and Ryan Borges is barely going to lead this lap. As looking right behind him, Rudy, here comes Brandon Cruz Monsivice.
Absolutely, these guys are really putting the pressure on him right now. Everett Lane high on that high side with Mitchell, and they could work by them if they can get a foursome going up there, which it looks like they're going to. Brandon Cruz hooking up, and they get 4 of them together. They could. Oh, they backed out of it. What happened?
I think they almost might just want to be calm. Remember, this is a 200-lap, 500-mile event. The Mrs. Dockside 200 presented by the Pro Series League. Actually, they're going to make a driver swap here. So here comes Travis Brown. He's going to switch with Ryan Borges. One thing, we will see that so many times tonight, we will probably forget to even talk about it at that point, because what happens is when you push someone, your engine temperatures get very, very hot. And what it does is if you push them for too long, there's a little thing on your dash that will start blinking red. That's your oil temperature. If it starts blinking red, your engine has about 5 seconds before it's going to blow. So whenever you see that, you have to let off and make a switch. So we're going to see a lot of switches tonight because you cannot just push. You have about 3 or 4 laps before you have to switch. And right now, Everett Lane's pulling away, but I'm sure that won't last long.
Yeah, Mark Moffitt now going clear back to the 10th spot after starting, I believe he was our pole sitter. Yes, Mark Moffitt on the pole. So, no, I'm sorry, he was outside pole. My bad. But he did lead the first lap of the race, and he is falling clear back to the 10th place now.
Actually have a really big hornet's nest back here. That will all start with the 2 truck. That is the number 2 machine of Rod Ronmus. And, oh, we have a car loose on the bottom. I'm trying to get a number on that one as though there was a little bit of an accident. Not really an accident, but I couldn't get a number on that one. Rudy, did you catch who that was?
No, I did not. Let's see. That might have been James Hickson. No.
No, I don't think it was James. Trying to figure out who that was, but there was some sort of a small accident. Not 100% sure what happened there, but the racing is still going on strong, so no caution.
James Hickson way out of it, though. He has fallen way back to 33rd after starting 6th place. So something has happened to the Hickson machine there.
Top 9 have really separated themselves right now. Sean Boundy being the last one to be involved in that. So right now the top 9 are really gone from the field. They have about 2nd over everyone else. Don't expect that to change. That little wreck kind of separated everyone. And while all that action was happening, Travis Brown and Ryan Board just reclaimed the lead. So the racing are getting separated. I said 1 second. It's actually more like 2 seconds. So the top 9 are just gone right now. And it's they should really calm themselves down, Rudy.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Mark Maffett back in 10th place, 2.2 seconds behind the leader, working with Michael Vandesdahl. And those two partnered up. Chris Jennings back here 12th, Nigel DeJong in 13th, Bobby Stewart 14th, Nicholas Doucette in 15th.
Trying to get a lot of action on everyone tonight when everyone gets into camera time. Right now, a good battle going on for the P25 position. That's Daniel E. Ephart. He's trying to get around the number 89 of Kevin Savory. Savory in his Hooters machine is trying to hold off Ephart. Ephart, though, keeps making the charge at the inside, outside. We expected him to be up front tonight, and that wreck might separate the field a little bit, but he is going to try to pass him, although he's having help coming quick. In a big way from the 51 of Dustin Lee. Dustin Lee, though, is going to change his option. He's actually going to try to help the number 89 of Kevin Savory. So right now, that 13 machine is heading the wrong direction. Good battle going on here for the lead, though. Still really close together up here. Trying to get a good look at these guys. That's Brandon Montsevice on the outside. He's trying to take the lead away from the number 41 of Travis Brown. Travis Brown down there in second. Brandon Montsevice there leads that lap. And Rudy, we have a great battle brewing for the lead. Well, I do believe... What? Oh, sorry, I thought my mic went out there. I think Rudy is having a mic issue. I'm not 100% sure, though.
Oh, sorry about that. Whoops. Yeah, I did. Sorry about that. Cecil Renee in 6th, now Francisco in 7th. You can hear me, right, Petey?
I got you, Rudy. Sorry,
okay.
I was scared there for a second.
Sorry about that. My bad. I had a little issue there. Sean Boundy? Sean Boundy in the 8th place? Yeah, Sean Boundy. I'll tell you what, there's a nice looking truck right there. Ronald Higgins. That's a sharp looking truck. I like that. All the different colors. You know, we see these guys out here a lot. Petey spending a lot of time painting up these cars and trucks. And I'll tell you what, some of them really got some talent. Mitchell Reeves now takes over the lead.
And speaking about talent, looking back at this Mark Maffett machine in 10th, he is leading the charge to the lead. This pack is catching back up at a quick pace. He's being pushed by Michael Vandesdahl, and Michael is trying to get right up to his bumper. They're closing on this lead pack. They've been closing the last few laps, down to about 2nd between them and 9th, and that's where they need to get to be part of this lead pack. And when that happens, that will bring all the way back to 15th up with the lead pack. There's another little pack that's gotten really separated here. These drivers are trying to separate themselves only 12 laps into this 200-lap event. As we see another battle brewing for the lead, though. Mitchell Reeves is going to try to stay high, but it will not work. Give the lead back to Travis Brown. The Travis Brown and Ryan Borges duo has been dangerous tonight, and it continues to be as this event goes on, although Mitchell Reeves has done a great run from his teammate Everett Lane. It's going to be close to the line, I believe, though. It is Travis Brown, just by a bumper, Rudy.
Yes, it was. He couldn't have beat him by about a foot, maybe. But definitely Mitchell Reeves on that high side. Him and Everett got a great run there down the front stretch, and let's see if they can hold on to it, continue that lead down the back stretch. Everett falls off the back of Mitchell Reeves just a little bit. Probably wanted to get a little air in that radiator to keep that engine cool, because it is very, very detrimental to these cars and trucks.
Speaking of engine cool, Ryan Borges is trying to give his nose some air, but it will not work. They don't have any room to do it. I believe they want to make a swap. They're clear now. We'll see if they attempt to make one, although they have a lot of room between each other, so that motor is cooling down slightly. Track we haven't talked about all night so far, very early in this event, though, is Cecil Reen. Cecil's found his way up to third. His partner, the number 15 of Ronald Huggins Jr., has pushed him up there. Ronald's sporting a really cool-looking South Park truck. That's actually a very good paint scheme. Great job on his part as we see Ronald try to push his buddy up to the lead. Although Ryan Borges and Travis Brown are still leading this event. One machine that has surprised me so far is the George Bark entry. I have not seen much of George all night. I think he's taking the safe approach to this event. George Bark way back in 37th right now, working with the number 30 of Steve Hendren, although I don't want to pay attention to this because there's a great battle brewing for the lead, Rudy.
There they are. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they're kind of like way off of the pace, and like you said, you know, that's where I would want to run right now, because, you know, we've got a lot of laps to go. They're running 15 seconds, 14 seconds behind the leader, and you know, that's good and safe back there. If there is a wreck, they've got plenty of time to check up, steer clear of them, and make sure they don't get any damage on that truck. Only one reset here tonight, Petey, so they've got to make sure that, you know, they want to at least get, I would say at least get past half to three-quarters of the way through the race before I'd want to even have to think about using that reset.
And meanwhile for the lead change, give it to Mitchell Reeves. He got pushed to the lead by Everett Lane, so they're now leading the race, and Travis Brown's trying to keep up with them, but what this has done is it's really separated him and Ryan Borges, and it's really heating up Travis's motor, so it's a lose-lose situation for those teammates right now. Travis Brown trying to keep pace, and he's now going to drop back to his partner Ryan Borges. This will let Mitchell Reeves and Everett Lane get away. These are the two dominant tandems of the event so far. These two have just been up front the whole first 15 laps of this great event, and closing in on 1/8 of the way into this race, we still have yet to see a caution, and there's a battle right now for about the 5th position between the Brandon Montevice machine and the number 15.
Yeah, very good job by these guys. That front 9, even though there's an odd man out, you know, as we always say, you know, you always want to have an even amount of trucks out there working together, but they got an odd man out, and they've still, the front 9 have pulled away by 2 seconds. But I hate to say this, but I'll tell you what, that second group is coming. They've closed that gap up by a couple of tenths in the last couple of laps, so they are coming. And boy, I'll tell you what, they brought the whole back part of the field right up with them.
This is going to be a drag race for the lead. Travis Brown barely loses that lap. Give it to Mitchell Reeves. That was just 22 1/1000ths of a second. So Mitchell Reeves barely hangs on that lap, but Travis Brown has found Ryan Borges again. We wouldn't normally focus just on the lead battle, but right now this is the only battle going on around the racetrack right now. So
that's for sure.
There's a little bit going on in the back, I guess, between the 23 and the 7 machine right now. That's Danny Rude and Scott Zemke, so they're trying to keep their machines clean back there, but not a lot of action. These guys are all single file back here. All the real action's up here for the lead, where it continues to heat up. Travis Brown is going to try to take the lead still. He has a good push from Ryan Borges. They're going to try to get it out for Rudy.
Yeah, these guys have been just back and forth and back and forth. They're going to have to get in line if they're going to try to, you know, stay out ahead of that second group. Again, they're, you know, as much as they're battling up there, that second group is starting to reel them in, and they're about to make it a 40-car battle up in there in the front again. They come around to take lap number 18 this time, so I'm really surprised that that front 9 sticking together as well as they are.
I'll confirm what the first little accident was. The 004 got turned around, and that's why he was 2 laps down right now. But besides him, everyone is still in the lead lap, so good job by everyone keeping pace on this lead lap. The 3 wide, holy smokes, there's Travis Brown, yes, Ryan Borges, and Brandon Montevice. That was a wild 3 wide situation. They went to go make a driver swap. Travis made a little bit of contact with the outside barrier, and that just slowed them up the littlest bit, and now they're going to fall all the way back to this big group and relinquish the lead to Mitchell Reeves and Everett Lane. So Ryan Borges and Travis Brown just had a big moment there, but they will hang on and still remain in this lead pack.
They fall, Travis Brown back to 9th. And all that work that they did to get up to the front, Petey, has all been thrown out the window right now as they fall back. But, this has been good news for the second group because Jeffrey Smith now just 1.3 seconds off of the leader. Him and his partner, Luke Fleming, are going to join this battle and make it 11-car battle up in the front. So we could possibly see Jeffrey Smith work his way to the front here with his partner, Luke Fleming. I'll get that out.
Yeah, and right now, though, with this lead pack single filing out, that makes it just that much harder on them. And actually, Luke Fleming and Jeffrey Smith are there, so they've caught up now. And, they brought a lot of people with them. We have about a 13-car lead pack now, because Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert followed suit, so 13 cars in the lead pack now. And Billy Cross and Kenneth Wright aren't too far behind. So we are starting to see some things heat up here in the front. First side-by-side battle is Ryan Borges, Travis Brown. They are on the outside of Brandon Monsivois. They want to fly to the front right now. They are pushing it so much harder than everyone earlier in this race that I have to believe they're taking more wear and tear on their cars. But it's more of a statement thing right now, really showing that they can do it at any point in time.
Right. And Travis is going to have to be very careful with that because I've noticed he's been behind Ryan pushing an awful lot. And he's got to be careful with getting that engine too hot. It can do permanent damage to that engine. When you have to go into the pit road and use that reset because you got engine damage and no body damage, that hurts. That hurts a lot.
It hurts quite a bit. Is there now on the outside for the lead. What a charge for these two. As we're just 1/8 of a way into this event, these boys have found their way up here racing for this lead, and they are going to do all they can to try to take it away from them. But they have to let off. They have to make another driver swap. They push too hard trying to get to the front. Travis Brown goes low. He's going to let Ryan Bortz go to the outside, and he's going to try to pull up. They're going to lose quite a few positions here, actually, and all that work for naught again, although this time they're not going to fall nearly as far back as they did before, and they're going to be in a good battle here for about the third position. So driver swaps seem not to be an issue for the two leaders, but Ryan Bortz and Travis Brown, we've seen them have to make a lot, Rudy.
Yeah, Dustin Lee, he dives it down to the bottom, now in 8th place. He has come from way back in the field. Dustin Lee started 32nd, and here he is on lap 22 in the 8th place. So that's a great charge by him and his partner. They have really outdone themselves. Damon Gilbert.
A little bit more interesting battle going on in the back right now. Ivan Schrum and his teammate Bobby Stewart are trying to make some moves back here. They're going to try to get by Chris R. Jennings in the 88 machine, who has fallen back heavily. Man, he's fallen back. He started on the pole, and he's already to 24th, getting passed from more positions. So the 88 and 67 of Mark Moffitt are not having the night they expected so far at all. They started on the front row, and now they're about to be 24th and 25th here, and still losing positions. So these two machines are struggling here in the early stages of this event. Not at all what they need in a super speedway race, as we see another charge for the lead.
And, I hate to say it, but, that could be by design. They're only 5.9 seconds off of the leader right now, so it could be by design. They're to stand back here, staying safe in case something does happen, because we know it's going to happen, we just don't know when. The big one could happen at any time.
A race with a green field like this, it's very, very uncommon when you, it's very, very common. In iRacing, when there's big events, it seems as though the cautions don't come often. The guys calm down. This is a big event, $1,000. These guys don't want to wreck for $1,000. They want to race for $1,000. And right now, 24 laps into this event, we're seeing these guys put on one heck of a show. No one's wrecking yet. Everyone's keeping their heads on their shoulders. And it's just calm, cool racing. But on the outside, we see a hard charge coming by Dustin Lee. And I believe his teammate there, alongside pushing Dustin Lee, is Damon Gilbert. So Gilbert and Lee making a charge on the outside. First time we've seen them up front all night. Great charge from the back from them. Dustin Lee started way back in 32nd. Damon Gilbert in 34th, as we touched on earlier, Rudy. And they're coming to the outside trying to take the lead away from Mitchell Reeves.
No big surprise there. Dustin, definitely a super speedway veteran. He knows how to get it up there to the front. He's got a good partner. I'm sure them guys have been practicing up for this for probably a couple of weeks now, getting ready. And they do a lot of super speedway racing, so they're really not new to this. The same as Everett Lane there. He is a veteran to the super speedway racing. They know how to get the side draft. They know when to do it, when not to. They know when to switch. They know how to switch. And, that means a lot. When you got a partner that can switch up with you very good, without losing any time means the world, you know.
It does, and right now, here comes Dustin Lee. He takes over the lead in the Mrs. Dockside Realty 500 presented by Pros League, which is owner George Bark also owns Bark Competition Karting, which is a very good place to get your everyday karting part and needs. And we see great battling go up front right now. If you want to be part of this battling, be sure to check out the Pros League. Just dial in PROS into the iRacing League page. You'll find them real quick. Pros League, a spectacular place to race. And the other sponsor is Mrs. Dockside Realty, a great realtor. Just check them out too. This is the main sponsor for the event tonight. So all them great sponsors are what are bringing you this $1,000 prize to win this race. As we see Mitchell Reeves hang on and Dustin Lee fall back, and Travis Brown and Ryan Borges are going to try to get right by them, Rudy.
Yeah, we've still got that 13 truck battle up in the front right here, and it's about another 3.5 seconds back to 14th place Corey Ross. These guys in a battle all their own. Danny Rude in 15th, Scott Zemke in 16th, and Nicholas Doucette 17th. Them four battling it up pretty hard here for them positions. So great racing going on all the way around the track, Petey. This is really turning out to be a good event here. Just a note here, Mark Maffett has fallen all the way back to the 24th position after starting second, and they're in a group all of their own back here. Michael Vandesal, Chris Jennings, and Nigel DeJong working together in a foursome.
Back here is starts with Kevin Savory, and it goes through Eric M. Wilson, TJ Graves, and Martin Backer. TJ Graves, Mr. Excitement, we know him as a great short track racer and an exceptional super speedway racer. He is taking the calm approach to this race. He says he's going to hang around here to about lap 150, and then he's going to approach the front. So TJ Graves just minding his cool back here. Always exciting to watch him. Same with George Bark. We see a lot of great drivers hanging out in the back right now, but don't expect them to stay there for long, as right now we still see every single car on the lead lap except the 004 of Michael Johnson. He's 3 laps down, along with 98 of Jeremiah Jensen. No one else even close game lapped yet, as the battle for the lead has calmed down quite a bit. Everyone's single file almost all the way around the whole 40-car field right now, Rudy. So certainly everyone right now is just trying to keep their car calm and cool. I'm sure the administrator of this event, George Barr, he was nervous this might be a caution fest, but right now these guys are sure proven that they can race.
Oh yes, definitely. Almost 28 laps in the books already. Just wanted to note here that in 29th place, Robert Riley, Rod Ronimus Jr. in 30th. Those two have been working together. Here they are running 19 seconds behind the leader as they swap up here going into the turn. Doing a great job. Eric Wortley 32nd, Karsten in 33rd. Those two working together. Gary Bauer back in 34th position as they, or excuse me, 36th position as they come to the line. And when are we going to be looking at pit stops here? Shouldn't be too much longer.
Lap 38, I believe. Lap 38 is usually around when you start seeing green flag pit stops in super speedway events under green. So
okay.
They're just under 10 laps away from green flag pit stops, so they can knock a caution. Knock on wood there. We don't want to see them wreck. I mean, I'm sure they'll get a caution here. It would be very, very exceptional, to say the least, to see this thing go 200 laps without a caution. But I'm not saying it's impossible either. With these guys racing the way they are, it's been good to watch. As we see Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee make another charge for the lead. Damon Gilbert is on the outside, and he can try to take the lead away from Mitchell Reeves, Rudy.
Yeah, those two have been trying up there on that high side. You know, and I always say if you could get 4 guys up there working together, nose to tail, you can just power right on by. But that's not necessarily true, because we did see earlier, we're seeing Travis Brown and Ryan Borges go right on by that outside by themselves. So, you know, it depends. It depends on just how much the low line is working together, how much they're nose to tail. And but we're up there watching them right now. Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee trying to get by on the high side.
In each lap, they go by the flag stand. A little more fuel leaves the cell, and a little bit closer they get to pit stops. As we see the top 2, Mitchell Reeves and Everett Lane, they haven't made a swap this whole darn race. They've just done a good job of keeping that Everett Lane engine cool. And you can do that sometimes. You won't be nearly as fast as the guys who hook up and switch. But for right now, the pace they're running in this race, it's a very, very good strategy. And as we still see about a 13-car lead pack, that's a huge lead. They have 5 seconds over 14. So these 13 cars are pretty much gone right now. green flag pit stop surely could change that, as right now these guys are doing a good job keeping their cars clean, as we see really no one racing hard. The guys on the outside, they aren't pinching the guys on the inside yet. They're just keeping their cars in good, safe distance, and it's been a fun thing to watch these guys. Normally at super speedway events of this length, you'd see these guys already have 2 or 3 big ones, but these guys right now are racing the way they should be, Rudy.
Yeah, we're 32 laps on, or taking lap 32. So yeah, we're well into this event and caution-free so far, and we've seen a lot of lead changes up in the front so far tonight. Just taking a look real quick here, we've already had 11 lead changes in the front, so that's pretty amazing for 32 laps, no cautions.
Oh, as we just see these guys flying around these racetracks, clicking lap after lap. The racing action, like you said, very calm right now, although we have a Hornet's Nest right now. I found one that goes to the number 7 machine of Nick Doucette. There's a big pack of cars here racing side by side. Good action. Daniel Ebhart is the Under Armour car you will see right there, pushing John Mustaine. John Mustaine, though, is going to have trouble on the outside coming. Scott Zemke is going to try to get up there. Zemke has a great machine. He was very excited about this event. He wants to get up there with him. All these drivers, they know it's a little early, but they're getting racy back here. They want to catch back up with the lead pack. Remember, if this pack catches up with the lead pack, this will give us about 21 cars in this lead pack. So right now, we are actually seeing some lap cars become an issue up front. But besides that, everything's single file. No one's racing in the lead pack right now. This has just been phenomenal, these lead pack guys. Their intelligence to do this, Rudy, as we see the second pack getting a little racy.
Well, you know, the trucks, I was going to talk about that a little bit there, PD. Trucks being kind of a popular mod here on iRacing. The guys really enjoy it. It's kind of an easy one to drive. It's a whole lot easier than the Gen 6 or some of the other ones, but a very popular mod, and this is probably a good choice by George putting it the trucks here on Daytona. They do get great gas mileage, you know, probably some of the better ones, and they're really fun to drive. Great side draft that you can get off of these things, and the tandem racing here is just absolutely amazing in the trucks.
Only second to the Nationwide car, but the Nationwide car doesn't put on quite the racing the truck does, so I'm really happy with the choice of the trucks. In the Gen 6, there's no tandem, it's just pack racing, which that is very exciting in its own mean, but the type of event George wanted to put on, the truck was more well-suited for this.
We've got a couple taken to the pit road here. Dustin Lee, it looks like. Dustin Lee and his partner, and somebody else joining in there, the number 15 of Ronald Higgins. Yeah, we've got a few of them coming, or Huggins, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ivan Schrum, Bobby Stewart. We actually, I think these were the ones that charged hard to the front, Rudy, so their charge to the front probably used up quite a bit of fuel, and this was probably needed.
2-tire change and topping off the tank, and they're away. That's going to put them clear back in 31st place right now as they come off of pit road. So, as we get caught back up here in just a minute. Mitchell Reeves still up on the top spot. Pulling Everett Lane, Travis Brown, and Ryan Borges. Cecil Renee into the mix of it. Sean Boundy and Francisco in 7th. Jeffrey Smith 8th. Luke Fleming 9th, and Brandon Cruz top 10.
So that's your top 10 right now, folks. The rest of the action is really simmered down here. Brandon Cruz, Monster Bike 54, actually has no help. Actually, he does have the 98 at lap truck, but got really separated during the whole lap incidents there. He's right in the middle. No help in front of him, no help behind him, except that lap truck, so his life's depending on that lap truck. Another car who's running smart right now, I want to note on, is Karsten DiGiantomaso, the number 6 machine. He's been having a very solid event so far. He's just been trying to keep his Bullring Racing Chevy clean. But right now, he did get a little bit of damage in that accident we saw, but he's been doing a good job fighting with it, and he's up in 23rd right now. So I want to make a nice comment about him. I know he put a lot of practice into this event, and right now it's paying off. Yeah,
that's a shame when you get a little bit of damage like that, because it really knocks the power right out of these cars or trucks out here. I always say cars. It knocks the drag. Oh, God, I don't even know what I want to say there. I'm just all tongue-tied. You just got me all flustered there. I'm telling you, man. You are so good, Petey. I'm telling you. You're good.
Just a little fun out here. Waiting for these leaders to come in. I said lap 38. I think I'm going to be pretty close. These guys should be coming in any lap now. Either this time or next time, I would have to believe. Don't expect to see them take it too much longer. Mitchell Reeves and the 25 of Everett Lane will be watching them this time. Will they bring their machines down? Don't see anything to show they're slowing, and no, they are not, so no one out of this lead pack immediately pitting, and no one from this lead pack's going to pit yet, Rudy, so at least one more lap.
Yeah. They're getting down to the wire here. Everett Lane in second. We'll watch, and they're going to come in as teams, so that's something you got to watch. And they do communicate with one another in team speak or on the track, and communicate together, and they will pit together. And I kind of look for Travis Brown and Ryan Borges to pit with them two leaders.
Indeed we do, and these leaders, one thing that could get hairy here is when you see a big pack of trucks at Daytona or Talladega coming out pit road, you know what your tandem partner is going to do. You're talking to him in team speak. But the guys in front of you and behind you don't know what they can do, so if they brake a little bit later or harder than you could slam them and make them spin out, or if they brake a little bit lighter than you, then you could make them slam into you and spin you out. As we see a few more come in, Francisco and Sean are going to bring their machines down pit road, so that partner is going to be the first one out of the lead pack to bring theirs down pit road. I expect them to take 2 tires and fuel, Rudy.
Yeah, we're watching here to see what they do. They come sliding into their pit stall, no mistakes. You don't want to see them slide through their pit stall or anything or make any mistakes. Well, a lot of cars and trucks are blinking out here tonight on me. I don't know what's going on with that.
We saw Sean and Francisco just take gas and go there. Tires aren't that important at Daytona, so I'm not going to say that was a bad call. That was a perfectly fine strategic call. Maybe not the best call, because you could have took tires and not lost anything, but it certainly wasn't a bad one. So it was just an interesting scenario we saw there, as the leaders still have yet to come in pit road. Everett Lane and Mitchell Reeves, I expect to see them come this time by. I don't see them ever making it much longer than this, but they actually have quite a decent lead over Travis Brown and Ryan Borges. So them pit road calamity wrecks I was talking about, Rudy, seem very unlikely right now.
Right. And they're
we got the 33 of the 32 that is of TJ Graves, Mr. Excitement at an exciting moment himself. He was getting up to speed coming off the track, and he got dead sideways, saved it, and will continue on. So TJ Graves with a great save, but he's going to lose a ton of time in that whole exchange, Rudy.
Absolutely, man. Oh man, let's go back and take a look at that and see what happened as he comes off of the turn. Whether he got, looks like he was just coming off a pit road, and he must have caught that apron.
Travis Brown just had a very hairy moment getting into pit road.
And it looks like, yeah, that's exactly what it did. He didn't catch the apron, but you know how you come around that turn just a little too fast, and it will catch up to you. So, okay.
See the leaders come to pit road. Travis Brown dove into pit road, passed 2 cars, got to pit road second, but then missed his stall. So Travis Brown, all that work for nothing, and we had a spin on pit road, Rudy.
Yeah.
The 27 machine is around. We gotta look at that one. That was looks like we had a pit road accident. You got that one, Rudy.
I'm gonna go back here and take a look at this as they all come down pit road. I don't know if it was just a little confusion.
Mitchell Reeves, our leader, got turned. He was trying to come into his pit stall.
Yep.
And the 27 was there. It came across 27's nose and turned him into his pit stall. And that's our leader. And the second place driver got involved too. So 3 of our 4 leaders had big trouble on pit road here, Rudy.
Well, there goes them dreaded resets right there. The guys are
caution. The 27's around on the track too. The 27 of Gary Bauer, he did the same thing as TJ Graves, Rudy. He spun on the apron. And just like that, we're on lap number 40, and we're under caution. The 27 of Gary Bauer has had an awful few laps.
Well, man, I'm telling you. And it looks like that may have been the coming off of pit road again. That's exactly what happened. Coming off of pit road, and yeah, okay. Yes, coming off pit road just a little too fast, and he spins it around up onto the track in front of traffic, and that does bring out the caution. All right, so we'll get caught back up here to the leader, and I don't know, some of these guys that pitted, I doubt we're going to see them come down pit road, do you?
I don't see any way they come down pit road, unless they have some weird strategy, but what did happen, I mean, everyone had trouble on pit road there, so somehow Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert found their way through the lead, with Sean Boundy and Francisco Scaramuzza is going to be in 4th, so our top 4 there, that's going to be a lot different than it was before. And Ryan Borges and Travis Brown are going to be 5th and 6th, though. The pit stops, I mean, we sometimes have exciting pit stops, but that has to be one of the more exciting cycle pit stops I've seen in a while, Rudy.
Well, I'll tell you, it's what I was saying earlier. You know, pit stops are what makes or breaks a race, and we just seen it right there, folks. You know, the mistakes that can be made on pit road can cost you the win.
And it certainly could. We're going to see no one come down pit road this time, Rudy. And it appears... Oh, we do, though, actually. Travis Brown and Ryan Borges, they're going to bring their machines down pit road. It'll be really interesting to see how many tires they take, Rudy, and what the reasoning is for coming down.
Yeah, we're watching now and see they're coming into their pit stalls here and see what they do. Because they did take tires. I believe they took right side tires. So just to top off the fuel. They did run a couple of laps, you know, after making that pit stop, and that could have used a little bit of that precious fuel, and they get off onto a different pit strategy or a pit sequence from the other drivers. A lot of these guys taking 4 tires now on pit road.
Very interesting turn of events here. We're going to see a lot of shaking up. George Bark, I believe, is going to be up there near the front, but speaking of up there near the front, we're going to see a whole different top 10 than we saw before, folks, so things changing here from Daytona, and it's just battles keep getting more intense and more intense as the night go on, and we are very close to the 1/4 mark in this event.
Very awesome. One caution. This is the first caution of the race, and we've had 12 lead changes.
Pretty
cool.
A lot of action.
Yes, very, very. And you know, it's what we were talking about beforehand there, Petey, that you know, the race can be won or lost on pit road, and man, I'm telling you what, that really costs the leader a lot of time. Let's see, where does that put him back? Trying to find him here. That puts him back in about 33rd place.
And actually,
yeah,
that just shakes things up so much here. It's just tough. And actually, it's got an update from the 32 crew. We saw him spin off pit road. That's TJ Graves, still on the lead lap. TJ Graves actually has come over the radio and told the guys that he right now is going to attempt to make his run to the front. So expect to see that 32 machine charge hard here, as we still have 39 of our 42 machines on the lead lap. Gary Bauer being the first machine a lap down, along with Jeremiah Jensen 2 laps down, and Mitchell Johnson is 11 laps down, virtually out of this event. So, really, there's still 41-42 cars still in contention for this one. And we actually saw a first penalty of the race. Brandon Cruz Monsivice was given an EOL penalty. Not sure what for, but I'll go check on that, Rudy.
Alrighty. Well, hopefully everybody is enjoying the show here on Maxspeedtv. We appreciate all you viewers, and try to put on a great show here for you. I got to thank Petey Zeller for joining me in the booth today. Appreciate that very much, Petey. Just awesome to have such a great commentator in the booth with me. He's been helping out here and there, and man, I'm telling you what, he's doing an awesome job. Okay, starting out here, Dustin Lee in first, Damon Gelbert in second, Sean Boundy in third, Francisco fourth, Jeffrey Smith fifth, Luke Fleming in sixth, Cecil Renee in seventh, Daniel Eberhardt in eighth, John Mushton in ninth, and Everett Lane back up into the top 10. But he's up there without his partner, Mitchell Reeves. Mitchell going to be way back in the field. I'm going to try to find him real quick. He will be starting back in 27th after the pit stops. So I'm sure they'll be looking for each other on the track.
Oh yes, and I'm sure they'll find each other very soon. They were working very well with each other, so I'm sure they want to get up there and try to lead this event once again. They were having a lot of fun up there together, but don't have too many issues though, because Ryan Borges and Travis Brown are 14th and 15th. So by the time they get together, it should take a while for all the guys we saw up front to get back up front once again. But they'll get there, don't worry. Fast cars are fast, and that will make no exception here at Daytona. They'll find their way to the front here as we get ready for another restart here. And by another, I shouldn't say that yet, because this is actually just our first caution of the race. We get ready for our second restart of the night here, Rudy.
Yeah, Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert, teammates starting on the front row. They were going to want to probably get one behind the other. I'm not sure how they're going to do this. They're going to be probably talking in a private channel or whatever, and they'll try to get hooked back up here and get this thing back underway. As everybody is doubled up and we're ready to get back under green, coming down the back stretch, looking at turn 3, and Petey, why don't you go ahead and get them fired up here?
All right, and like we said, Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert are going to be leading them down this time by. So we should see them guys try to get hooked up together. I expect to see one guy let the other in. I don't know how it's going to work, but one of them will. They'll try to get hooked up and try to stay in front of the Sean Boundy and Francisco team pair. Trying to see what's on the hood of them cars. I believe it says something very intriguing. It actually says doyourpart.org and Sim Racing Network. So those two are sponsored by both of them have both sponsors on the cars, just both have a different primary sponsor. And here we go, we're going to get them fired up. So Damon Gilbert on the outside, Dustin Lee on the inside. Dustin Lee's looking for that green flag. The pace car pulls off. He's looking, there it is, takes off. Dustin Lee, and they're going to be dead even, not what they wanted to see on this restart. So Dustin Lee's going to have to get to the outside, try to get to his partner, Rudy.
Absolutely, and as long as Francisco doesn't push Damon too much, no, and he doesn't, as he dives to the bottom and stays right behind his partner, Sean Boundy. Dustin goes to the high side to pick up his partner, Damon Gilbert.
And he will find him.
Wow, we got a bunch of them here working together.
So to the lead is Sean Boundy. He's being pushed by his teammate Francisco. Jeffrey Smith is going to be in third. Dustin Lee is going to be making a hard mount on the outside. He's in fourth, going to try to take away third. He has his teammate now on keeping a good eye on this Ryan Borges and Travis Brown tandem. They found each other, so expect them to come flying to the front. But right now, let's focus on what's happening up front. Here comes the 51 of Dustin Lee. Lee with help from Damon Gilbert. Gilbert pushing them for all he's worth right now. And it's going to be close to the line. They're barely going to be in fourth, although the lead tandem got separated. So we're about to see a lot of heated action. And we're almost 1/4 into this event, Rudy.
Yeah, and Everett Lane already back up into the 7th spot, but minus a partner. Looking for his partner, Mitchell Reeves, which Mitchell's back in 24th position. But those two could get hooked back up here again later on. Probably talking in a private channel saying, hey, I'll get caught up to you. Just ride along. Ryan Borges into 9th. Him and his partner, Travis Brown, up on the high side. And they take up right behind Everett Lane. So we've got 2 wide all the way back to about the 10th or 12th place.
I'd almost expect to see Everett Lane catch up with Jeffrey Smith. Their trucks are painted identical. I mean, I'd have to assume they're teammates. Maybe Mitchell Reeves is like a third teammate, but unless it's just an awful coincidence here, if you see Dustin Lee take the lead away, him and Damon Gilbert went straight to the front, and Damon Gilbert looked low. I think he's just trying to get some air to his nose. Partners usually don't betray each other here, at least this early in the event. Shouldn't say that because later in the race, they will betray each other, and you will see it, and you will be like, wow, they worked together the whole race. How could they betray each other there? But it always happens at Daytona. We see a battle for the lead brewing again. Everett Lane going to push his newfound partner, and that is Daniel E. Ephart. They're going to try to take the lead away, Rudy, as we're again 50 laps into this run almost.
Absolutely. Yeah, Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert right there in the front. They retake the lead. And this is turning out to be a pretty good race here with these guys battling up in the front like this. This is amazing. No surprise to see Dustin Lee in the front, though. Absolutely no surprise. We've got probably about, 10, 11 cars up there working together? 12 cars working together right now.
They're working together really well right now. And speaking of working together really well, look at this hard charge on the outside. They're going 3 miles an hour faster than anyone else. Ryan Borges and Travis Brown. They're the third tandem in line now, and they're flying through this field. They started 14th and 15th. They're up to 5th and 6th at this point, and they're going to try to take it away from these leaders. Well, the leaders are battling hard. On the outside, Daniel Ephart is battling with Dustin Lee. He wants to take the lead away. Lee's going to get an advantage, though. Will Borges and Brown take it 3 wide? No, they back off a little bit. They're going to wait for their moment. They're going to wait for them to see a hole that looks as though a decent one to take. Well, that might take a little while because Ephart is battling hard right now with Lee, and he has a lot of help from that car that we know can push Everett Lane. Everett Lane pushed Mitchell Reeves the whole first part of this event, and now as we just hit lap number 50, he has a new partner, and he's doing the same thing he was before, pushing a guy to the lead, Rudy.
Yeah, and as you were talking there earlier about these guys being out there with their partners for all the race, and when it comes down to the end, we see that a lot, just to kind of reiterate on that you know that when it comes down to the end of the race, it's all bets are off. You know, whether you've been a partner all race long or not, it doesn't matter, because when it comes down to the end, when you're betting on $1,000 for that win, hey, it's, you know, partners are off limits right there, man. It's every man for himself.
Yeah, and Travis Brown and Ryan Board is going to make a swap, which is going to take us 3 wide momentarily. Should simmer down real quick. The battle for the lead, though, is still simmering hot. Daniel Ebhart's going to try to take it away from Dustin Lee. Ebhart with a great run on the outside from Everett Lane. Everett Lane going to push him. They're trying to clear him with all their worth right now. It's not quite working out for him, though, so this battle is still going to be going on up here for the lead. Looking through the pack right now, we see a little bit of racing, but it's mostly a single file trying to find their way up to the lead, so this battle is still side by side, and Ebhart cannot take it, and they're actually going to fall back on the low ground. Dustin Lee is still your leader, dude.
And all the way back to 14th place, Corey Ross right there, and Francisco back about another 4/10, trying to bring up this back part of the field with them, as the field's starting to get spread out just a little bit again after the restart of that race. We are a little past a quarter of the way through the race, so lots of racing to go yet here. And thanks for tuning in here today, watching the Professional Racing Online Series with this Mrs. Dockside 500 here, 200 laps at Daytona. Thanks for tuning in.
As we see these guys continue to battle out here, and oh, look at Ebhart. He's going to lose his partner, and that's going to follow him back, and that's going to clog up a lot of things here. Brown and Board just cannot find a hole here. The reason we keep commenting on them is we know they're fast. They led this event for a while, and it looks as though they're very clear now. Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee are clearly to the lead here, as they are still trying to hold off that tandem of Ebhart and Lane, and the 24 machine's kind of just hanging in there right now. I believe that's Francisco. No, that was actually Sean. So Sean is sitting right there right now. Sean Bounty, that is, in the 4th position, just kind of hanging with these guys. I'm not quite sure where Francisco went, but he's nowhere near where he needs to be to help his partner, so things are not looking great, but things are getting hooked up. But as of right now, Sean is just hanging in there. So the battle for the lead is still side by side like it's been for about the last 10 laps.
Yeah, right there, second spot, pushing on Dustin Lee, his partner Damon Gilbert, doing a great job of it. And I'll tell you what, the Ebert up on that high, Eberhart, excuse me, trying to get by them on that high side is definitely trying to get that side draft going into the turns. You see how close they are, just a couple of feet apart. Side draft is everything here, and we see these guys try to use it in every single way that they can possibly use it. We've got about 6 cars up on the high side working together, and that's what they need up there, I think, to get by these leaders. And it looks like Eberhart is going to get a good run here this time as Everett Lane pushes them.
So Everett Lane still trying to get that machine around. I don't think he's going to be able to. Just struggling to get by him here, as these are the only 2 tandems working together right now. Everyone's just keeping the motors nice and chilled right now, as Ebhart trying to take the outside advantage. And right now Ebhart was in the $1,000 spot that time by. It's too bad it wasn't a $1,000 lap for Ebhart. Ebhart is just trying all he can right now, and him and Everett Lane, that is, cannot just quite get the run they need to clear him. Everett Lane is doing all he can to push him, and it's been fun to watch, but this time they're going to lose quite a bit of ground again. But like that, every lap so far, they're going to catch right back up, and now it's dead heat for the lead. As we continue on with this event, Ryan Borges and Travis Brown got to about 4th and 5th, and they decided they want to make no more further moves. They almost touched for the lead, door contact almost there, but as of right now, things are calmed down. One thing I actually want to note, really, as remembered, is 41 and 33 are on newer fuel than these guys, so they can probably go about 5 more laps than the guys in front of them if you see another long green run, Rudy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier there about when they stopped and they probably the truck probably only needed maybe 2 or 3 gallons of gas, if that, and that gets them on a different pit sequence than the rest of the field. So yeah, we'll see them get back up into the front, but it's always better, Petey, you know as well as I do, to stop with a group, go out as a group, but that does give it a chance for more issues on pit road like we had earlier on that under that caution.
Yeah, and Ebhart is still, I mean, this has just been fun to watch. He's doing such a great job right now. There's nothing dirty about this. It's just nice and clean. They're trying to just get their way around, and at that time, Ebhart was in the $1,000 spot, so Ebhart with advantage a little bit, followed by Lee, and that's 10 1,000 for a second. That's close, so I've seen it in quite a few laps. So, oh, here comes Borges and Brown. They're going to take it 3 wide, Rudy. So to the outside, way outside goes Brown. He gets loose. Oh, they can't do it. They're going to have to stop there, and 3 wide doesn't work too well at Daytona.
Yeah, I think he got what I always call like a sandwich effect there. Borges did not see how close Brown was to the back bumper there, and he kind of got sandwiched in there and got a little loose into the turn, and Borges had to back out of it, and that cost both of them a little bit of momentum, but they're still safely in it.
On Bounty with a huge moment there. He almost got turned by the number 36. That is the number 36 machine of Jeffrey Smith. Jeffrey almost turned him there, but they all saved it and hung on. As Daniel Ebhart has a little bit of advantage this time. Can he get Everett Lane clear? They've been trying for so long. They're going to get separated. It's not going to be this lap, and they're going to lose ground again. So Daniel Ebhart, oh my, he can just not find a break here. He just wants to get to the lead with his partner and Cruz. These guys are using so much fuel trying to do this. Speaking of using fuel, the guys with the most fuel right now, Travis Brown and Ryan Borges, to make another charge. Will their 3 wide attempt work this time? They're going to go to the outside, and once again, they get separated, Rudy.
Yeah, I'm not sure if what the deal is there. Travis Brown, right? Oh, and they get hooked together.
The 25 of that is Everett Lane is in the wall. They both saved it though, but wrecking in front of them.
Yes.
This is more trouble, and that's a plain white car. I can't really see who it is. It's the 10 machine, I believe. No, it's the 18. The 18 machine of Daniel Rude got turned in front of them, and okay, Rudy, you actually have the replay on this one.
Yeah, I'm on the replay right now, and what I was looking at here was Travis Brown was on the high side there of, what was that, Everett Lane? On the 25, yes. Yeah, on the high side, and it looked to me like if you look at it really close here, we'll get down a little closer, he does get hooked on the back bumper of Everett Lane, and both of them go into the wall. Now, Travis Brown could have got off of the wall a little bit quicker, but he couldn't because Everett Lane was right ahead of him, kind of keeping him into the wall. Both of them sustained a lot of heavy damage on them trucks.
Yeah, I don't believe that anymore. In front of them, Daniel Rude and Luke Fleming wrecked, so... oh, God, we actually saw them take both Q hard... Oh, another car involved. That was the 40 of Martin Backer, so that's all who were involved in the wreck there. Another truck piled in. They wrecked way after the wreck there. It's the 19 machine. Trying to get a name on that one. The 19 of Jay Anderson actually got collected in that one, too. But we saw a big pile up there, and Jay Anderson's motor is actually kind of blown. I don't know if he has a reset. But at this point in the race, 60 laps in, we're seeing a lot of trucks get torn up and silly accidents like that one there, Rudy.
And it looks like our leader, Dustin Lee, going to bring them all down pit road. Everybody going to join in on this one here. Probably wasn't too awful far off from seeing green flag pit stops. So
our leader missed a stall.
He did? Whoa. Well, that's the kind of mistakes we see that cost you. Sometimes it's hard to see, when you come down pit road. You got to look for that for your marker, and if you don't see it, but we got trucks smoking on pit road. Wow.
First truck off pit road is Ryan Borges. Want to know what his issue though? Travis Brown's in the back. But so one thing to know is George Bark's up to second. So George Bark and Ryan Borges might be able to put something together here. And actually, a truck stayed out. That's Mr. Excitement, TJ Graves.
Yes, sir.
And TJ and Borges, I know, always work together. Both of them have been sponsored by Double Clutch in the past. Right now, for this race, actually, TJ sponsored by Double Clutch and DisabledRacers.com. If you are disabled and love doing racing, go to DisabledRacers.com. They will hook you up with a special sim rig that you can use for iRacing. Very cool thing to go there. DisabledRacers.com. That is sponsoring TJ Graves tonight, and that machine is in the lead, followed by Ryan Borges and George Bark. Bark is the guy who put on this event and owns the Pros League and George Bark Competition Karting. GeorgeBark.com. Go to GeorgeBark.com for all your karting needs, and I guarantee you he will have it.
Well, we got a lap down car in between them there. I'm trying to figure out who that is, the number 98. Figure out who that is. Oh, Jeremiah Jensen. He is in between there. He is a couple laps down behind the leader, and he's in between the leader and Ryan Borges. And now our leader, TJ Graves, comes down pit road.
All right, maybe he was just trying to get disabled racers a little bit of a shout out.
There you go. He got her.
Hey, he got it. I sure gave it to him. So that will actually cycle Ryan Borges through to the lead, followed by the George Bark machine. Actually, no, Brandon Cruz Monster Vice. Did he stay out?
I believe so.
Oh, so it looks as though Brandon Cruz Monster Vice with a... You know, I watch him do a bunch of leagues, and he's always the strategy guy. This doesn't surprise me one bit. Brandon Cruz Monster Vice is going to be your leader. And one thing that will make interesting is I believe here, I could be wrong, but I think Ryan Borges and George Bark are going to hook up together. They're pretty good friends, so I think that's something that we could see happen here. Until Travis Brown gets back up to the front, I'm going to look back at Travis, actually. I'm very interested to see if that 41 machine had a quick repair. And no, he didn't, Rudy. So that damage he sustained to that wreck is permanent. Travis Brown's machine is destroyed right now. I don't think Travis Brown's going to be competent the rest of this race.
Oh, man. That's a bummer for him. After him and Borges were so strong there at the beginning of the race, it was just, amazing to see them two up there battling for the lead. And for him to have that damage like that, that's got to be heartbreaking for him.
Same with Everett Lane. Everett Lane does not repair, and his truck's even more damaged. So we're already seeing some guys out of this, well, not out of this event, but basically out of contention already. So, oh my, that's a big heartbreaker for Brown and Lane. And we're just going to have to find a new partner, and same with Mitchell Reeves. And a lot has changed here as this event goes on.
Well, Borges may have already hooked up with a new partner with George Bark, but we'll have to wait and see how this is all going to play out coming to the green here. I don't think they're going to get the one to go this time, but they might. I think it's a little too early for it. They might get it, though. Take a look. Go ahead.
I was just saying, speaking on Borges and Bark, Bark certainly isn't a bad partner to have. Bark is very, very... Oh, as the lights do go off in the pace car, we have one to green here.
Okay.
So, one lap till green flag. We're going to have 38, make it 39 cars in the lead lap when Gary Bauer gets his lap back. So still 39 cars in contention for this race. Everett Lane, I don't think he's going to be in very well contention. He's in pit road still with some substantial damage. His machine, it's going to be hard for him to be competent here. Same with Travis Brown. We actually have a lot of wrecked machines back in the tail end of the lead lap, but you never know. It's Daytona. Things happen. You could always have that big one on the last lap that suddenly shoots you into relevancy. Well, we'll have to see. And a lot of guys keeping their cars clean, and we're going to see a lot of names we haven't talked about tonight make their way to the front. Some of the guys going with that clean strategy, like George Bark, like, who's another one that did it? Like Steven Hedren. A lot of these guys just taking the clean strategy, and they're finding their way up to the front right now, and it's working well for them, Rudy.
Yeah, we've had 2 cautions, 18 lead changes, so that's really amazing here, 62 laps. That's some pretty good stats for these guys.
And that it is. The pace car is going to leave you 3 and 4. I'm very interested in this restart. This is going to be an interesting one because Cruz Montevice on less fuel has no help in the front right now. Borges and Bark, I believe, are going to want to get to each other. I could be completely wrong, and they have absolutely no plans of getting to each other. But from the looks of it, and from the way I know history works out with these things, I have to imagine they're going to try to get to each other here. So we're getting ready for another restart. Borges is going to be on the outside of Montevice, so it'll be interesting to see who can get hooked up with who here. Getting ready for the pace car to pull off. Montevice leads him down in the number 54 blue machine. Borges in number 33 Storm machine. That's your front row. Green flag is getting ready to wave, and it is waved. The drivers take off, and Montevice did not go that well, and Borges went. So Borges being pushed by number 24 machine, Rudy, as they head off in turn number 1.
Great run by Borges on that high side, but not being able to get down there and work with George Bark right now, so he's going to have to settle for, I believe that's Boundy right now. Sean Boundy up there working with him. Brandon Cruz and George Bark nose to tail. Bark just really gets right up underneath Brandon Cruz, and those two try to power back by on the outside of, or on the inside, Ryan Borges.
So Ryan Borges battling on the outside with Sean. I guess I was wrong. George Bark is going to work with Brandon Montevice. So yeah. Ryan Borges on the outside right now, that 24 machine of Sean. They cannot get a good run going, and Brandon Montevice, unless fuel's going to be lighter, and he's going straight for the lead. And Borges gets left on the outside. This is what happens when you don't have your partner of the race, Travis Brown, up there on you. This happens. So Ryan Borges is now back to the 4th position as George Bark and Brandon Montevice are going to try to charge away from the field, Rudy. Now
up on the high side, Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee working together. And they've got some help up there with the number 30 of Steven Hendren. So they've got a little bit of help up there as he tries to hang on. Yes, got a caution.
It's right in the back here. I actually see this one, or I thought I did. Yep, I do. Kenneth Wright, the number 146 machine, got some damage in it, and I'm going to actually start way in front of him. So we're going to look at this one, and I believe, Rudy, it starts with the, Ronald Huggins Jr. and the number 15. Yes, it does.
Okay, we're going to watch here and see if we can figure out where this is.
Turn number 1 with Ronald Huggins in the 15.
Yeah. We'll get up there to him. Looks like they may have somebody got tangled up together here. The number... Yeah, it looks like he may have drifted up the hill into the number 2 right there. He went really up the hill into him, and that's what started the chain reaction here. He goes down onto the apron, the 2 involved, the number 40 involved. So a lot of trucks are going to get tore up here. Ronald Huggins, don't look like Ronald's got a whole lot of damage just where him and the number 2 got together, but the number 2 is going to sustain a lot of damage. Oh, now he gets hit. Oh, brother. Yes, so Ronald Higgins is going to be tore up bad.
Very.
They're going to continue wrecking. Wow.
Yeah, so we already seen some guys getting eliminated from this event in the early goings. We're not even on lap 75 yet. And, ooh, this is just heartbreaking for some of these guys as this event continues on. And it's going to continue on without him as Ronald Huggins is actually taking his machine behind the wall. He is out of this event. And looks as though we're going to see none of the leaders bring it down pit road, but an early wreck takes quite a few contenders out, Rudy.
So, let me ask you, Petey, what do you think so far of the racing? It's been pretty intense up front, hasn't it?
It has been very intense to watch. These guys have put on one heck of a show, and it's been everything it was supposed to be and more so far. These guys are certainly showing their stuff right now, and honestly, I'm a little surprised. I'm not going to lie. I thought we were going to see a lot more cautions in the early laps. If you told me we were going to be on lap 66 with 3 cautions, I'd say you're crazy. I thought we were going to have 5 or 6 at this point. These guys are doing a great job keeping their cars facing the right way, and it appears as though these guys are here to race, not to wreck, Rudy.
And, just to kind of bring something up here real quick, 63-degree temperature out there does make a lot more grip out on the track for these guys. So, the ones that we're seeing getting together are just mistakes made by the drivers, not because of the weather temperature or the wind. Wind coming out of the north at 8 miles an hour. Could play a little bit of an effect on some of these trucks out here. They are very, very aerodynamic, and the wind could play a little factor into that. But when you're in the group like that, in such a pack, I've noticed something, Petey, about these trucks. They are really squirrely. The aero package that's on these trucks, it really kind of, the aero package in there with that group like that, it kind of throws the truck around. We see the trucks dancing around a lot, and that could have been the whole deal right there with those 2 drivers getting together.
And it very well could have been, and that is something we will definitely see continue throughout the event. And Brandon Monsivice, though, still going to be your leader. He restarted the last one, and George Bark was in second. So that's going to be the same thing as last time. As Ryan Borges, though, fell back a little bit. He is going to be back all the way into the 5th position, Rudy. So drivers falling back here.
Yeah,
Hey, Rudy, this is me on Whisper. I'll be back in a second. I got to do something.
Okay. Mitchell Reeves has worked his way into the 10th place. So he's back up into contention up here, but he's without his partner, Everett Lane. So I was kind of looking to see if I could find Everett Lane here. I know he had a lot of damage. He is still sitting on pit road trying to get that damage fixed up, so I'm not sure if they'll be able to get that truck out there. He's scored back in 41st position right now, so lots of trucks out of the race here. We've still got quite a few on the lead lap, though. I believe clear back to about 36th position, still on the lead lap. Brandon Cruz continues to lead out front here. The guy that has led the most laps, though, Mitchell Reeves, he's led 28 laps, is going to be restarting in the 10th place. So let's run down through the top 10 here. Brandon Cruz, George Bark second, Sean Boundy third, Damon Gilbert fourth, Ryan Borges fifth, Dustin Lee sixth, Daniel Eberhardt in 7th. Stephen Hendren, boy, I'm having trouble with that name. In the 8th spot, Jeffrey Smith 9th, and Mitchell Reeves your top 10.
Yeah, I'll take you down through the top 20 also. Try to get through all the lead lap cars. 11th, Francisco Scaramuza. 12th, John Mustaine Jr. 13th, Cecil Renee. 14th, Corey A. Ross. 15th, Karsten Dujon Tomaso. 16th, Eric M. Wilson. 17th, Ivan Schrum. 18th, Kevin Sabery. 19th, Bobby Stewart. 20th, Billy Cross. Rudy?
James Hickson 21st, as these guys waiting to see if, the lights do go off on the pace car. 21st is James Hickson, Travis Brown 22nd, TJ Graves back in 23rd, Kenneth Wright 24th, Jay Anderson 25th, Gary Bauer 26th, Nicholas Doucette in 27th, Danny Rude in 28th, Martin Backer in 29th, and Chris Jennings your top 30.
31st, Mark Moffitt started second. All the way back to 31st, 32nd, Nigel DeJong, 33rd, Michael Vansdal, 34th, Ron Newson Jr., 35th, Luke Fleming, 36th, Robert Riley, 37th, Jeremiah Jensen, 38th, Eric Wartley, 39th, Scott Zemke, 40th, these are all cars out of the race now. Actually, not all of them, but Ronald Huggins Jr. is out of the race. Everett F. Lane is still working on repairs, and Ronnie Airfield Michael Johnson is still on track. So, Rudy, that is your field.
All right. Back up front here, Brandon Cruz is going to lead him down with George Bark starting on the outside. Now, those two were working together before that caution. Let's see if they do get back together, and maybe they can march to the front. How they're going to do it, I don't know. They got to be in communication there out on the track. And these drivers are in total communication, for those of you that don't know. They are in team speak. They have communication on the track as well. They use a headset, mic, all that kind of stuff. So we'll get them going here. We're ready to go, Petey.
All right, Rudy, so I'm going to bring down this next restart here. Brandon Cruz Montsevice in the lead, followed by George Bark. Green flag in here, and Cruz was sleeping. George Bark is going to take the lead here. And that was surprising to say the least, but he's not going to clear of Montsevice. So this could be an issue. He has no help on the outside right now. Although, it's close, but he gets in. So, give the lead to George Bark. And on the outside, we've seen another tandem that's been really relevant all night. Whoa, Borges loose on the inside. That almost got hairy. But, yeah, so right now on the outside, Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee going to try to make some noise.
Well, I'll tell you what. George had to have had been in communication with Brandon on that one, because I don't think he could have put a piece of paper between those two bumpers as he slid it in there. Needed a shoehorn to get it in there, but he got it in front of Brandon and takes up the lead. Great job by these drivers. Damon Gilbert up on the high side. Him and Dustin Lee still trying to get a good power move going. And they've been working at it for a long time. They did make it up there for a while, Petey, but now they're working at it again, trying to get up there. But with a leader like George Bark up front, they could be in stiff competition here.
They could be. And George Bark, we talked about him, he was 34th, I think, early in the race, and now he's up here flying into relevancy. He is in the lead, being pushed by Brandon Montsevice. Brandon Montsevice, he does not have as much gas as the Bark entry, so he is going to have to pit a lot earlier. What he was banking on is a caution maybe in about 10 laps. It's very possible, but I think it's a risky strategy this early. Not going to down him for it, though. He's taking a chance. He wasn't running that well, and he wanted to be up here in the lead pack, so Brandon Cruz, he's usually a strategic guy, and it really is no surprise they did that there. It could be the right call, though, if we get another caution here soon. Although right behind them, something a lot more interesting is the battle for third. The 24 machine is Sean Boundy. He's going to try to battle here. On the outside, Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee are charging. Dustin Lee is going to try to take the third position, and he does. So Dustin Lee pushing Damon Gilbert as the leaders get separated, and we're going to have a battle for the lead, Rudy.
Absolutely. Them guys have got a great head of steam coming up on that high side. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get up there. It looks like Damon Gilbert does take over the lead right now, but going down the backstretch, that could change. They have cleared George Bark, and they slide it down in front of them and take up that top spot. So great job by Damon and Dustin Lee.
George Bark with a taste of his own medicine there. But as we are going to see some more machines charging to the front here, Stephen Hendren working with Daniel Ebhart. These two very colorful machines are on the outside. Oh, a lap car! That could have been bad. That's Eric Wartley. Wartley almost just caused catastrophe. It's a good thing these drivers were on their feet, or else that would have been bad. And here comes not Eric Wartley. Here comes Stephen Hendren. Stephen Hendren on the outside of lead. He wants to take the lead away. Here comes them machines. They've worked well here tonight. They have not been near the front. And we've seen Ebhart be near the front, but he struggled taking the lead early in this event when he was working with Everett Lane. But right now, as we approach the lap 75 mark, we are seeing these guys try to battle for the lead. Things are getting more racy, and the leaders are separated. So here comes Stephen Hendren. He takes the lead from Damon Gilbert. We will see, Rudy.
Well, Hendren has not led a lap tonight, and it looks like he may have a fender, and it looks like he does lead that lap. Hendren does lead, yes, he did lead that lap. So taking lap 73, Hendren leads on lap 72. A good job by these guys up front. George Bark falls back to 5th, Brandon Cruz in 6th. And these guys all running nose to tail up here right now, but they're still battling pretty hard.
There's some great battling going on right now, as we're going to see these machines come down for another lap. And these guys are just chipping the laps away, getting rid of them quick, lap after lap. It's getting quicker and quicker pace. And speaking of quicker and quicker pace, a little machine just popped into my mind that I haven't seen in a while. But here it is, the number 02 machine. Mitchell Reeves dominated the early stages of the event. He is back up here to the front. They're going to lap another machine. Mitchell Reeves is all the way back up almost to the lead. Mitchell Reeves is flying through the field, and he's found his way back to the front, working with a car that looks a lot like Everett Lane, but it isn't. It is Jeffrey Smith. As we see a lead change once again, Stephen Hendren and George Bark are battling hard. Oh, Dustin Lee comes up the track almost into Bark, and there's action all over the place, Rudy.
Yeah, this has been, man, I'm telling you what, these guys are really they're racing like it's the last lap, and everybody wants to get up there and lead a lap. But just a kind of a note here real quick, we've got a 19-car pull away. They're about a second ahead of 20th place Billy Cross. So 19 cars or trucks here join this group here up in the front. That's pretty amazing.
And it is very amazing, and all these guys want to win that $1,000 prize, and the Mrs. Dockside Realty the $1,000 and the Mrs. Dockside Realty 500 presented by Bart's Competition Karting and the Pro Series League. Be sure to check that out. Sign up for them. Look under iRacing League's Pros League. And along with that, check out GeorgeBark.com for all your karting needs. As we see a lead change here, he's going to go to the outside. That was very unexpected, but Stephen Hendren ditches the inside line to help George Bark. George Bark is going to try to take his GeorgeBark.com machine to the lead. Can he get there? He's not going to quite. Stephen Hendren is just a little bit slow there going into the corner, and that slowed them up quite a bit, so that will give Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee the advantage down on the inside, Rudy.
Yeah, these two come back pretty strong on that low line, as we were talking earlier. Boy, he just barely beat Steve Hendren to the line. But we were talking earlier there about that low line always being the fastest way around the track. And even though we see the guys come by on the high side, unless they can actually get out there and the second car clear them, they're not going to be able to stay by them. The guys on the low line will go right on by them in the low line. So they do need help up on the high side, and it looks like they are starting to get a little help up on the high side. The 02 right there, Mitchell Reeves joining forces with George Bark and Stephen Hendren.
He is being pushed by the number 36 of Jeffrey Smith. And they're going to go to the low side, so they're going to try to help move that line. Well, Mitchell Reeves wants to get back to the lead where he once was in this event. So action all throughout the racetrack, and these guys are certainly not letting up one bit here. And oh geez, we just have a big pack of cars here, but the only battling for the lead right now. Believe it or not, on this whole entire racetrack, the only battles for the lead. That's pretty substantial to say, as Stephen Hendren is still trying to find a way. We've seen this all night. Drivers will be leading barely the stripe, but if you're on the outside, you're never going to clear the inside line unless they bobble. And we've seen it happen tonight, but it doesn't happen often enough for it to be helpful. So Stephen Hendren still trying to find a way around that Damon Gilbert machine. Gilbert and his Kart City Chevy Silverado is doing a spectacular job so far, holding them off.
Yeah, these guys, what a lot of people don't understand, when you get up there to the front like that, you get even with the leader, and then you kind of hit that like a wall of air right there, and you just kind of like stay even with them. Unless you've got a great run to get on by them, and you know, maybe the bottom line is kind of separated by a little bit and they're not pushing, where you could actually drive right on by, as we've seen Travis Brown and Ryan Borges do earlier and a couple other drivers. So the high side is definitely the place you've got to go if you want to make that pass or lead, but you've got to get a great run or have a few cars up there working with you.
As we say that, the Incredible Hulk machine is going to try to get to the lead, and he is there, so give the advantage right now. Although, never mind, because Damon Gilbert comes right back and takes it away.
Yep.
So the George Bark and Stephen Hendren machines cannot just quite clear the Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee entries, as the battle for the lead is starting to simmer down just a teeny bit. This will give us a good opportunity to look back through the field where another great battle is heating up, and that is where a 4-car pack exists. Right now, that 4-car pack consists of the number 27 of Gary Bauer, followed by Jay Anderson, TJ Graves, and James Hickson. These guys are trying to get their cars out of trouble, and I guess they're going with a really hardcore theory of keeping your car out of the trouble so far. You see a couple other little packs, but the main one that's way out of it. And also, one thing I want to comment on also is a battle for the 13th position. Karsten DeJohn Tomaso is trying to find a way around the number 64 machine, Cecil Renee, so Karsten DeJohn Tomaso trying to make some more moves early.
Yeah, you were talking about those guys way back there, Gary Bauer, Jay Anderson. You know, they're back there about 7.1 seconds behind the leader, but that's really not that far back. You know, they're just kind of hanging right now. We're not even at the halfway mark yet, Petey, so they got a lot of racing to go. And, you know, Jay, I've watched Jay in quite a few races, and Gary Bauer, get caught up in other people's stuff and not be able to finish the race. So maybe they've taken that and locked that in their old brain up there a little bit and saying, you know, we're going to just stay back here and ride this thing out a little bit and see how it goes. We do have somebody, who was that they just went by there? It looked like Everett Lane back out on the track. And he's very slow, but he's on the track.
Speaking of slow wrecked cars, Travis Brown in 31st right now. He's 10 miles per hour off the pace of the leaders right now. You got to feel for him. Certainly want to back his $500 win here, but it's appearing very unlikely right now. Sorry to say for Travis Brown, but his hopes may be dashed here in the Mrs. Dockside 500 presented by the Pro Series, as the battle for the lead is really starting to cool down. And by cool down, I mean somehow, I must have missed it, but George Bark and Stephen Hendren are way in front of the field, Rudy.
Yeah, they did get a good run on Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee. Now Damon Gilbert, Dustin Lee come right up on the back. And Damon trying to give old George Bark a little of the sandwich effect there, and I don't know if he was thinking maybe that might spin him out, or if he was just trying to maybe come up on there and use that draft, and it caught up to him a little quicker than he thought. Now up on the high side, looks like the number 13 of Daniel Eberhardt and Sean Bounty coming by. So them two trying to get a run.
So Sean Bounty is trying to make another comeback to the front along with that Eberhardt machine. Eberhardt with a good event so far here. He's just trying to find his way up to this lead here, and Eberhardt has a great run. Eberhardt down the backstretch is going to try to take the lead away, and he's going to be close. Eberhardt barely with the advantage, but will he get it at the line? That's been the thing all night. Here they come out turn number 4. It's going to be a dead heat. Eberhardt and that is Stephen Hendren. I keep messing that name up. I don't know why. But Hendren's going to lead this. Hendren's going to lead the $1,000 lap this time by. So not the $1,000 lap, but he's in the $1,000 spot provisionally. Certainly, a lot of things are going to change between now and lap 200 as the racing is simmering down.
Well, Ryan Borges back into the hunt of things as he's in 6th place now, minus his partner Travis Brown, but he is up there kind of like the odd man out right now. He comes back down to the low side right behind Dustin Lee, and that puts him in 7th. So he has worked his way. Oh, now he's back up to the high side again. So these guys are kind of getting racy up into the front here as Stephen Hendren. Man, that's a tough one. Lap car, yeah, 3 wide. Man, that was some good driving right there. You know, you never know, Petey, with them lap cars, just the damage that they have, just how much they're struggling. to steer that, and let alone going into the turn up against the wall, taking it 3 wide. If that guy can hold it and hold it safely, you just never know about things like that.
I want to track the progress of this one. Karsten DiGiantomaso is pushing the Hooters machine of Kevin Savory. They're going to try to go down the backstretch, and they have a great run. They're finally working with each other. So these are 2 cars from the back trying to fly to the front. Here comes Karsten DiGiantomaso in his boring entry. He's trying to fly to the front. He actually has a lot of actual sponsors on his car. He has Bark Competition Karting on the rear bumper. That is where he gets his cards from, so very ironic, but cool for him. And he has Bullring Racing League on his hood, a league that he runs in. He told me all about sponsors before the event, so I'll be sure to mention him, as he's starting to mount a charge at the front. And this lap by, he was in the number 10th position, so Karsten's entering the top 10 here, Rudy.
Yes, he is. I like that. You shall not pass. It says on the spoiler. That's pretty good. You shall not pass. So these guys are really racing it up good, and I think we're kind of looking at another long green flag run here, Petey, as these guys are really getting settled in. And I think maybe for right now, maybe it's safe to say, God, I don't want to jinx anybody, knock on wood. Maybe we're going to get into a green flag run here, and the ones that have wrecked out, it's unfortunate. I feel bad for these guys. They put so much time and effort into it. They paint their trucks. They've got dollars invested into it, and they get wrecked out. But sometimes I hate to say this, I'm probably going to regret saying it, but sometimes it's for the better. A smaller field, I think sometimes. We started here tonight with 42 trucks on the grid. That's a lot of trucks at Daytona, if you think about it. And, when you get down to a little bit of a smaller field, I think you get into better racing. And we're seeing it right now, right here with 19 trucks kind of pulled away from the 20th place, Ivan Schrum. He is 2.7 seconds behind the leader. And these guys are really racing good right now.
Indeed they are, as we're going to see the 68 machine come to the low side. That is the Damon Gilbert entry. He's going to try to get around Daniel Ebhart. So Ebhart is trying to make him out on the outside, but it's not quite working for him. As we see some more action in the back. Karsten DiGiantomaso picked another partner. Is 3 wide for the lead. That actually wasn't for the lead. I'm sorry, folks. That was another lap truck. That really confused me. That one's fairly undamaged. Must just be struggling with something out of the blue here for the number 2 machine of Ron Newson Jr.
Ronimus.
So,
Ron Ronimus.
Ronimus. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know Rod. He's a good racer. He loves these super speedway racing, but boy, he is just. I don't know if he just had a bad luck here tonight or what, but for him to be back there in 32nd position, that's not like him.
Yeah, man, another charge here. This is the best charge we've seen. Karsten trying to push people to the front this whole night. It's been fun to watch him. He's pushing number 12 machine now, so I'm keeping track of him. John of Mustaine, that is, and they have a big run on the outside, but they're going to get disconnected a little bit. Still pushing, though. So Karsten is now on the outside of the 51 and 68 of Damon Gilbert. Here they come on the outside. Karsten DiGiantomaso is going to try to push them up into the top 5, and they're flying on this outside lane. So here comes that number 6 and 12 machine flying through the field right now, and they're just passing everyone. And before you know it, they're going to be up to 3rd and 4th trying to get this lead, Rudy.
Oh yeah, John and Damon, man, oh man, that's kind of Damon out there by himself, not working with his partner. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong truck. My bad. It's Karsten. When I looked at it, it was like, man, it almost looked like Damon's truck for a minute there. But great run for these guys, and they're coming up on more lap traffic, and they're going to have to go 3 wide again. Hopefully they can do this out of the turn, not in the turn. And they do. Good job, man. Nice racing by these guys. They pass up, I believe that's the number 98, I think it was. 98 of Jeremiah Jensen. He's up on that high side. Nobody to work with him, and he is right now scored 2 laps down.
Indeed he is. So the 12 machine is trying to find his way around on the outside here. Best battle right now being pushed by the number 6 of Karsten DiGiantomaso in his Bullring Park Competition Karting Chevy Silverado. going around on this outside lane here, so those two trying to get up front for the first time tonight for both of them. They're up to 4th and 6th right now, battling on the outside of Daniel Eberhardt. They're taking a very careful approach on this outside line, trying to keep both those machines cooled down, charging once again, but well, they're going to actually have to cool up a little bit. They're trying to cool their motors there, Rudy, as the battle for the lead will simmer down due to that.
Boy, Damon Gelbert comes right up on the back of, who the heck was that? Number 24 right there, Sean Boundy. And man, I'm telling you, he had to lift off the gas as him and Dustin Lee were coming with a full head of steam and had to do some checking up. So boy, these guys are really getting racy up here. And again, like you said, who was that? Daniel? No, John Mushton up on the high side trying to get a run. Yeah, and he is trying to get up there, and that would be his first time that he's been up that far in the race today.
Yeah, and Karsten DiGiantomaso is giving them a huge help here. They're trying to charge on the outside. Karsten certainly is doing a real aggressive job here, but a good job of it. Karsten, just a young man that entered this event, actually told me about it. His parents said they would buy him a track on iRacing or pay an entry fee for a race, so he said, you know what, I want to try to win $1,000, and so far it's going pretty well for him. He's up in the top 5. If the race were to end right now, actually, he would just be outside the $50 spot, but he's getting closer, and the way he's been moving tonight, I would not be surprised at all if we saw the 6th car in contention late in the stages of the event.
Absolutely. Well, John Mushton had to kind of back out just a little bit there. It looks like he's going to get passed up by Damon Gelbert and Dustin Lee on the low line. So Mushton and the number 6 of Karsten going to fall back to 7th and 8th, and they fall back into line behind that front group. And looks like from about the 5th place on back, everybody is single file right now, all the way back to 16th place, Kenneth Wright. We haven't even talked about Kenneth tonight. Here he is in 16th. Started 39th on the field today.
Wow. The battle for the lead, though, is the Daniel Eberhardt machine with the number 30 machine of Stephen Hendren. Stephen Hendren trying to hold him off. Eberhardt to the outside in his Real Tree Under Armour vehicle being pushed right now by that. Then I believe that is Try Hard machine of the 24 Sean. So these guys are just charging hard here. Eberhardt was in second that lap by the closest of margins. Just 29/1000ths of a second as Eberhardt is giving him a real run for his money on the outside. These guys are almost at the halfway point. These laps are clicking by fast now. As these guys get really spread out, I don't see a caution within miles, knock on wood.
And real quick here, PD, let's explain here. I know it says 212 laps, but this is only a 200-lap event. So just to kind of clarify that, we do try to finish the race under green flag conditions, so we will have 3 green-white checkers. So that's why the 212 laps is on the counter. So we'll make sure that we do finish under green, not under yellow.
And if this race doesn't bring to the end, the last 12 laps will be completely irrelevant and unused. So whatever the scoring is at the end of lap 200, beginning of lap 201 is the finish. So I'm sure these guys are well aware of that and are paying attention to that. As we're getting closer to lap, I believe there's going to be another cycle of green flag pit stops, probably around the lap 110 mark, I believe. Maybe a little bit sooner, a little bit later, give or take. We will see as things are getting really single file here throughout this field. These guys aren't pushing it too hard right now. Right now, though, the top 4 are kind of pulling away and falling back right now is the Ryan Borges machine, the 33 of Borges. And without his buddy, Travis Brown, he can't do much right now. He needs Travis, but his biggest issue is Travis's car is destroyed as Ryan Borges is going to continue to lose spots. So Ryan Borges might just need Travis if he wants to win this event, but he won't be able to have him.
And he's searching for a partner right now as he's actually fallen clear back to the 13th spot, about to go 14th. And he's going to have to fall in behind Eric Wilson. Eric Wilson now into 13th. So Ryan Borges falls in behind him, and he will be 14th. Billy Cross right there behind him, and working with Kenneth Wright. Those guys 15th and 16th. Going to make this a 16-car pull away. Back to 17th is Ivan Schrum, 4.9 seconds off the leader with his partner, Bobby Stewart.
Oh, the leaders come to pit road. That's George Bark and Stephen Hendren. They're going to come down pit road. I think this is a little early, but I could be mistaken. And Karsten DiGiantomaso coming right behind him. Karsten's issue, though, is his partner didn't follow suit. So Karsten down pit road with no help, and the 3 of the 14 leaders are going to bring their cars down pit road here, Rudy.
Absolutely. Well, this is a little early for these guys, but wow, okay. As we see them on pit road, George Bark and company. And it looks like a fuel-only stop for George Bark. And the Hulk machine away, too, so them guys on pit road a little earlier than what we thought. That leaves the lead to Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee. And they've got a little bit of distance on Daniel Eberhardt and the rest of this crew back here. They've got almost a second lead on them, 9/10 of a second.
So that was interesting to see there. Certainly an odd cycle of pit stops, to say the least. Guys are going to try to move their way back up to the front. One car who got bad under that was Carsten Dijon Tommaso. He did not have any partner come down pit road, and he left pit road all by himself, so he's going to lose significant time there. It's going to really hurt the 6 machine. I don't know if we've seen anyone else come in. I do not believe we did, actually. No one else has come down pit road yet, although I do expect to see a few more takers. We talked about Ryan Board just not too long ago. That 33 machine, he may have fallen back a little bit more. Yeah, he's fallen back behind the lead pack. He's in 11th, but not in the lead pack currently. The lead pack is starting to really spread itself out. And spreading itself out is the lead pack with leader being Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee. Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert have a decent-sized lead for Daytona right now. They are coming into lap traffic. The lap traffic is going to consist of Francisco Scaramuza, Brandon Cruz, Monsivice, Nicholas Doucette, and Travis Brown. So they're going to try to find their way up through these guys here. And it seems as though the lap traffic is being very respectful here, so they are going to find their way right past them and should be able to maintain their pace, Ruby.
Well, Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert switch up as partners, and that's probably going to allow them guys behind them to reel them up a little bit. As they're single file, they should be reeling these guys up a little quicker than they are, but maybe they will now that some lap cars come in behind Damon Gilbert right there. That's going to help them out, and they're starting to close up now. Sean Bounty and Mitchell Reeves working together. So this is going to be it's going to heat up here in just another minute. But I think we're going to see these leaders come down pit road here before too much longer.
Not be too much longer. They have a very significant lead for Daytona. 6/10 of a second. You never see that, but it's happening, and they'll catch right back up. Don't you worry about that here, folks. Dustin Lee is still your leader, followed by Damon Gilbert, Daniel E. Eberhardt, Sean Boundy, and Mitchell Reeves. That's your top 5 right now. It's right now the battle to stay relevant, and staying relevant is very difficult. If you have a pit road miscue like Carsten John Tommaso, Carsten came down. Right now he's by himself with no help. He's going almost 20 miles per hour slower than the fastest cars on the track right now. So leaders come down. Here they come. Here comes Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert, and I think it's just them, Rudy. Once again, we're seeing them come in 2 by 2.
Yep. I think what happened back there earlier when George Bark and Steve Hendren come down pit road, I think it kind of spooked the drivers a little bit. Oh, Dustin Lee had to back up in his pit stall. That's going to be very costly for him. Right
also
side.
Costly for Gilbert.
Yeah, because that's his partner. Oh, man. And they're away, so, man, very costly for Dustin Lee. So, in the meantime, Mitchell Reeves back up front.
So Reeves, after a very, very long hiatus from the lead here, he's back up in the lead. So Mitchell Reeves trying to reclaim what he once had in this event. We know he's fast. He worked very well with Everett Lane early in this event. I expect to see these guys come down the pit road any second now.
Eberhardt on pit road. He gives up. He had the lead there for just a minute, and he is on pit road now. We've got several of them come on to pit road right there together, and we've still got more joining them. So a lot of guys coming down pit road here. We are at the halfway mark, so they'll probably have to make it about 2 more stops actually to make it the rest of the 3.
I think 3 probably would be safe here, but if the cautions fall at the right time, it could be interesting.
Okay. Well, all right. In the meantime, Mitchell Reeves is still up front.
Oh, here they come.
Yep, here he comes down pit road. Man, everybody pitting right around the same time. They all want to get on a different pit sequence, and that's a good thing for these guys. You know, you don't want to. It makes less confusion on pit road when you don't have 20 cars pitting at the same time.
So we're 100 laps into this event, just past halfway, and we've only seen 3 cautions so far. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But But I'm sure, as much as we love that they have green white checkers, I'm sure the league wants to keep them in its back pocket, not have to use them.
Right.
As Mitchell Reeves has a very quick pit stop here, along with his partner Jeffrey Smith, so they get out real quick. And once again, Rudy, there's more shakeup in the standings.
Yeah, very quick pit stop by Mitchell, 11.9 seconds. So no tires, just fuel, and that puts Ivan Schrum out front. Him and his partner, Bobby Stewart. That's going to put Mark Maffett third and Chris Jennings fourth. And these guys not pitting just yet. Ivan Schrum, I believe that is his...
Oh, the 34 car's around. Oh, Billy Cross spun, saves it. Oh, he's still spinning down the backstretch. He stopped completely. He's got to get that car rolling so the caution has come out. But Billy Cross did the same thing that TJ Graves did. The same thing that the 27 machine of Gary Bower did. He spun, cutting up to speed, and hit that apron and did the very, very costly mistake that we've seen done multiple times tonight, Rudy.
Yeah, coming off of turn 2 right there, if you got the power on too much, it's so easy for that back end to kick out on you. And, you know, you just got too much speed built up there going into the turn on the apron. These guys have to keep it down according to the rules. They have to keep it down on the apron until they come out of turn 2 before they can enter the racetrack. And that's pretty much a given, I think, for pretty much an iRacing given. I know a lot of people don't do it. They've gotten used to not doing it, but I think it's a good rule.
Fantastic rules. We see Bobby Stewart and Ivan Strum come down pit road. So that will finish off our cycle of pit stops here. That will give the lead to
Chris Jennings. Chris
Jennings. So
and Mark Maffett, yeah.
So the front row that started this race is now the front row once again, although they have a challenge. I don't think it's that big a deal. They're going to be pitting here all fairly soon, and that will turn over the lead to Daniel E. Eberhardt whenever pit stalls are done. And here comes
Mark Maffett and his partner, Michael Vandesdal, coming down pit road.
So Chris Jennings and Nigel DeJong are going to be the last ones to be on the racing surface right now. And we are very close to the end of this pit cycle, so Daniel E. Eberhardt soon should be able to take over this lead, but he's just going to have to wait for 2 more guys to pit. And I think this is probably a very significant pit strategy right now, I want to say, just by the way, looking at it, these guys need to drive out as long as they can. They might be able to make it on one less pit stop than everyone. Now, this is just some math I'm doing quick in my head. It's probably inaccurate, but if they could, there's a chance. There's always a chance. And these two staying out long, I think, might be something we'll note and talk about later when it becomes relevant.
Chris Jennings and his partner, Nigel DeJong, coming down pit road now. That's going to give up the lead to Daniel Eberhardt. But they are 27 seconds behind these guys now. I know these guys aren't going to be able to get in and out of pit road in time and come around out of turn 2 to retake the lead, but it's going to be really close. So we'll keep an eye on this for a minute here and just see how close it's going to be. Daniel Eberhardt coming out of, I believe they're coming out of turn. They're coming by right now.
That's a big pack there. So
yeah,
a lot of variables that could be added in, but they took the lead back easily there. And we'll give it to Eberhardt and Boundy. Next time by, the scoring lead will show whoever leads this lap is the leader. Now, the reason I say that is because there is a battle for the provisional lead right now. Stephen Hendren is battling on the outside of the Eberhardt entry. Eberhardt in his 13 machine trying to keep it down low, but he has trouble brewing from the outside lane. That is in the form of Stephen Hendren and George Bark. Bark and Hendren charging here. They want to take the lead just past halfway in this event, Rudy.
Yeah, it's been a side-by-side battle up here. They've been battling since they come off of pit road, and I'll tell you what, this has been really interesting to watch because, they're both very strong working together. They're not with their original teammates that they were with at the beginning of the race, but they found a teammate out on the track and working together and working well together. And Eberhardt has really been doing great. Sean Boundy has working with Eberhardt right there, and they're doing great. Stephen Hendren and George Bark now finally working together, and those two are working great. But joining the group here, Jeffrey Smith, Mitchell Reeves, these guys wanting to get back up there. Mitchell led 29 laps at the beginning of the race. So he's led the most laps so far today.
and he certainly wants to be there to lead the $1,000 lap, but can't do that without being relevant throughout the course of the event. We see Jeremiah Jensen just bring down pit roads with quick repairs. Behind these guys is a huge pack of cars forming just a lot of guys that are having a rough night, man, and racing's really separated into about, let's see how many cars, about an 8-car pack, so
Yeah.
Stephen Hendren, Daniel E. Eberhardt, George Bark, Sean Boundy, Jeffrey Smith, Mitchell Reeves, Eric W. Wilson, Cecil Renee, and Damon Gilbert. No, wait, no, not Damon
Nope.
Gilbert, but yeah, just the top. Cecil Renee's the last one.
Yep. Damon
now
Gilbert, Dustin Lee back 1.8 seconds, which they're really not out of it by any means.
No,
And
they're
they've got-
fast too.
And they've got Ryan Borges not far behind them, but he's by himself right now.
I do believe those Gilbert and Damon Lee machine can find their way back up to this top spot with the right amount of help here, and they're close. Actually, they closed 5/10 that lap. I'm waiting to see, make sure that's accurate, but yeah, it is accurate there.
Yep.
They're closing very fast here. Borges is all by himself right now with no lead lap help, so Borges is going to have a hard time getting back up there. Actually, he's just by himself in general. There's no one near him within a country mile. He's all by himself, so
John Mushton, they're working with Nicholas Doucette. Nicholas, 1 lap down. First car a lap down. If caution does come out right now, he would be waved by. But John Mushton working his way up here has now caught up to this front back. And he brought Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee right along with them. So we've got 11 trucks right up here in the lead pack.
and as long as we go green, that's all it's going to be, because everyone else is too far back at this point. So 11 trucks is what we're going to see define this battle right now until we either see a caution or something amazing here, as these guys are battling hard for the lead. Still, they've been all night. I know I keep saying that, but it's because they have been all night.
Yeah.
And Stephen Hendra on the outside of that Daniel Eberhardt entry being pushed by George Bark. On the inside is Sean Boundy trying to take the lead. All these guys are just right now trying to figure out what they got and what they can do with it, Rudy.
Yeah, Eberhardt's still in the lead, and his partner right along with them. Boy, it would be nice to see George get up there and try to win this money. I know it's his event, he puts it on, but boy, I'm sure that money would look really good in his pocket. You know, I know it would look good in mine. Well, the lap down truck there, the number 7, as I was saying, Nicholas Doucette, he is a lap down, but he is joined forces there with John Mushton, and John's running in the 5th spot right now with that lap down truck of Nicholas Doucette. Nicholas, one of the older racers, I can't remember where I remember him from, one of the leagues I used to broadcast, and man, I'll tell you what, he was always there at the end, but he's unfortunately a lap down right now, waiting, trying to stay up there and be right in striking distance of if a caution does come out, he will get the way by and be back on the tail end of the lead lap. So, but right now he is scored in 29.
Nick Doucette, I watch him a lot in a series called Cora, and Nick Doucette is a very fast driver. They always talk about him because he's such a young driver. He's only the tender age of 13. He's been winning races there since he was about 10, they said. So Nick Doucette is a very, very young driver, but it's difficult to say, but he's a veteran of sorts in this game. So he knows what he's doing here. He's trying to get his way up to the lead here, but the thing is, if he was to take the lead here, he'll be getting himself back on the lead lap the old-fashioned way. So not a lot to gain for him right now, but he certainly can help his buddy in the 12. As we see a new change in the lead, here comes Stephen Hendren to the top spot, and he's going to slide down in line, and that's going to leave George Bark out alone on the outside, and Daniel Eberhardt's actually going to work with Stephen Hendren, so we saw a really bizarre turn of events there.
Yeah, a little bit of change of swapping of the guard up here in the front, because George Bark is now, he's going to have to go back, and it looks like he's picking up somebody back here. Well, he was in front of Dustin Lee, and Dustin gets a little bump from John Mushton right there on the front stretch going into turn 1. They kind of get separated. Mushton a little squirrely going into the turn. He's back and forth up and down that hill, making Dustin Lee a little nervous.
And very nervous he is making them. These guys still battling for the lead just around. Oh, turn! He turned! The 30 is spinning down the backstretch. He got turned on the straightaways. That's Stephen Hendren. Everyone's going to miss him, I think, but oh my goodness, Stephen Hendren just got turned on the straightaway, Ruby.
We will go back and watch that, because, man, that looked terrible. Let's see if we can find a better view of this. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That happened so quick.
Oh, a few more machines were involved. That was Dustin Lee and the 7 of Nick Doucette. Oh, and the 64 pilot in that is Cecil Renee. So we actually saw a 4-car wreck there. They wrecked trying to miss him. So, oh my, we saw a big pile up there.
Yeah, right there. It looks like that was the number. It was Daniel Eberhardt that did hook our leader, Stephen Hendren. Man, oh man, there's some powerful names there. But he did hook him, and that does kind of allow him to, when he spins around, he right on the backstretch. That puts him right in the direction of everybody else. And it looks like Dustin Lee did get caught up into that with a couple of other guys. So a lot of tore up trucks here again on lap 114.
And man, we are getting down to the nitty-gritty of this event. We are well past the halfway point. We're closing in on the lap 125 mark, which will be the next significant mark of this race. These guys, though, they're just doing a great job battling out here. Daniel Eberhardt, the leader, and it's really come down to there's not a lot of undamaged cars left. If you're undamaged, you have a good shot in this one, the way they're racing right now, Rudy. And our leader right now actually started 42nd, so Daniel Eberhardt started dead last, and he's leading this event as he comes down pit road.
Yeah, he's. It's showing Stephen Hendren on pit road, but he actually towed to his pit stall. Eberhardt does stop at his pit stall way back at the beginning of the field. Did a left tire change and fuel, and he is already coming off of pit road now.
He had the very first stall on pit road, so he has a lot of people to get by, and that might hurt him because the 24 machine passed him on pit road. Not sure if anyone else beat him off. Actually, no, John Moosfang got off first, and we actually had a few stay out, I believe. Mitchell Reeves, Damon Gilbert, and yeah, them 3 stayed out, so very split decision here as this event continues on.
Yeah, Damon Gilbert, Jeffrey Smith, and Mitchell Reeves, yeah. John Mushkin coming out 4th, Sean Boundy 5th, Daniel Eberhardt in 6th, Eric Wilson 7th, Ryan Borges up to the 8th place. Now this could be a good turnaround for him to be able to find a partner now and get caught back up to the front part of the field and maybe still pull out a win here tonight. Ivan Schrum in 9th and Bobby Stewart rounding out the top 10.
And certainly no one's out of it at this point. This is still an event that's wide open for anyone. And speaking of wide open, we're at Daytona, so it's wide open times 2 right now. Because you don't lift at Daytona, it's a wide open speedway. As these guys, I'm sure you all know that, the 2.5 mile high banked oval made in 1959 for NASCAR's original circuit. It's still around today. Very high pace speed in these new high speed cars. So these guys just trying to keep their cars clean right now. A lot of them are, and the top 3 are 3 guys I have to note have done a really good job keeping their cars clean. And not that they're the only ones, but certainly doing the best of it right now.
And Damon Gilbert staying out. Now he's minus his partner there, Dustin Lee. Dustin's going to be back in 12th place, but that doesn't mean that they'll be separated for very long. I know those two are lifelong teammates, so. But I don't know. Dustin should have had a quick repair. It looks like he did. He's got his truck fixed up, and he's back out here on the track now. Looks to be in good shape.
That's a good break for him. I mean, there's not a lot of undamaged trucks left, and we're talking about Daytona right now. And we've only seen 4 cautions tonight, Rudy, for 120 laps almost here. So that's like 1 for every 20 laps, saying, and we've seen a lot of green runs. A couple of them came in a storm, so
yep,
it's really been a very green event. So it's kind of surprising to see so many cars damaged here.
Well, coming to the line, you're going to have 84 laps to go, so we're still going to see at least 1 more pit stop out of these guys, probably 2. They're going to have to probably take a splash of gas and go, maybe toward the end, or maybe some guys might try to short pit it. And but still lots of racing to come here, folks, and thanks for tuning in and watching with us here. The Professional Racing Online Series here, putting on the Mrs. Dockside Realty 500 at Daytona tonight.
That being presented by Bark Competition Karting and the Pro Series League. Check them out. Go to iRacing, dial in Pros, and you will find the Pro Series League. This is a fantastic league. Always have good races such as this. This is not a league event, this is a special event. And along with that, go to georgebark.com for all your karting needs. They have everything you need and more. If you are an avid karter, be sure to check out georgebark.com or come talk to George. George is a great guy to talk about karting things with. So, always great to have great sponsors such as these.
And don't forget about Bones Racing. Bones Racing out there too, one of their sponsors.
Oh yeah, Bones Racing, just another great sponsor. This racing series has picked up so many great sponsors, and you know, it's just been fun to talk about them all tonight as we've seen them go on with this event. And you know, if it wasn't for them, this event really wouldn't be possible. And we're talking about, when it's all said and done, they're giving out probably around $1,300 in prizes tonight, and it's just amazing.
It sure is. Well, they're doubled up here, Petey, and ready to go back green. And it looks like, I'm going to look here and see, we've still got 28 trucks on the lead lap. So that's pretty amazing after 117 laps. And take a look, this is caution number 4, and we've had 43 lead changes. That's crazy.
That's very, very crazy.
Yeah, 43 lead changes.
It doesn't surprise me either, because we have so many close finishes at the line during this event, and I mean, these guys just put on a good show so far. No denying that these guys certainly brought their A game tonight. One machine I want to comment on is the 51 of Dustin Lee. I know he's a fan favorite. Dustin Lee did have a quick repair in his pocket, so the 51 machine in 11th right now. He has no damage. He could still possibly win this race, one of the faster cars we've seen tonight, Rudy.
Oh, for sure. I don't want to count out any of these guys, but we've got a lot of guys that are really hungry for this win. And they get the green flag, and we're off and going here again at Daytona. And Damon Gilbert jumps right out ahead. Now he's trying to look for his partner. Mitchell Reeves maybe taking up a partnership with him on that low side temporarily, looking for Dustin Lee maybe to join him back up there in the front.
And that
Go ahead.
That he is here as the battle for the lead continues on. That is the number 36 machine of Jeffrey Smith. Jeffrey battling outside of Mitchell Reeves. Reeves pushing the Damon Gilbert machine. Damon Gilbert left it out with good buddy Dustin Lee, but Lee is coming in a storm. As the 24 machine of Sean Bounty. Bounty's trying to push the 36 of Smith to the lead. Can Jeffrey Smith take it here? It's going to be close. It will not quite get there as Daniel Eberhardt's the odd man out here with no partner. He's kind of just hanging on for dear life. He accidentally turned his partner. The last caution is the 13 machine going to bring it down pit road. He was actually black flagged by race control. I think was for causing that last caution on the straightaway. So Daniel Eberhardt, that will all but take him out of competition here unless we get another caution here soon. But tough break for the Eberhardt entry.
Still up front, we've still got Damon Gilbert all by himself up here, minus his partner, I should say. Mitchell Reeves trying to stay tucked right up underneath him. As Jeffrey Smith comes back on the high side. And wow, it looked like Sean Bounty, boy, them two working together really good. And it looks like, oh no, Jeffrey Smith dumps off Sean Bounty up on that high side. Now Sean's going to have to fall into the 4th place behind the 02 of Mitchell Reeves. Ryan Borges coming up on the high side. Well, look at this with a full head of steam. Him and George Bark working together.
George Bark pushing him. He doesn't need Travis Brown. He has another good plate race. George Bark. Here they come on the outside to try to take the 3rd position from Mitchell Reeves. That is Ryan Borges in his number 33. Storm Motorsports entry being pushed by the GeorgeBark.com entry of, guess who? George Bark. George Bark trying to get his machine up here to the front, trying to take the lead in his own event. I mean, he might have put this event on, but he wants to win the $1,000. Who wouldn't want to win that?
That's exactly right.
Because he's going to be pushing the board this entry, and they're coming around turn number 4, and they're going to be they're going to have Borges pushed all the way up to 2nd by the time they get to the line here. They're actually going to be really close to 2nd. I think they actually went to Damon Gilbert that time. Yeah, just by a little bit there. But Borges is making a hard charge, and here goes the lead, Rudy.
Jeffrey Smith still out front, but Ryan Borges is making that battle look pretty simple as Mitchell Reeves now takes up the 5th spot, kind of like or 4th spot, excuse me. 4th spot. As him and George Bart side by side, that is the battle. Sean Bounty in 6th. These guys riding a little bit of a distance between them and 7th. Cecil Renee back here in 7th. Dustin Lee in 8th. Dustin trying to get up there and get back into with his partner Damon Gilbert, but he's using somebody to get there. It doesn't matter who it's going to be. You just got to find somebody to hook up with you and get back up to the front. As he does get by Eric Wilson and Kevin Savory. Brandon Cruz back in 11th spot now. We've seen him up there for quite a while. He led 8 laps earlier, and here he is, one of the very last ones to come down pit road on that first pit stop.
So, certainly, it's an interesting strategy, but anyways, Borges and Bart, here they come to the lead. Jeffrey Smith is going to battle for it on the inside. He'll have to maintain that position. We're coming to lap 25. That'll just be 75 laps to go. This event clicking off left and right. Laps go here, laps go there, as this thing is turning out to be a barn burner here from Daytona International Speedway. And here, in the Mrs. Duck side 500, basically it's a truck version of the Daytona 500 we have here. These guys are going at it. Ryan Borges charging on the outside with help from George Bark. Don't look too far back. Dustin Lee's coming back into this mix. And we have a bunch of new guys in this mix. Mr. Excitement being exciting at the right time. That is TJ Graves. He is charging in the front. And it's just been a bunch of comers and goers here. But some of these guys are coming at the right time, Rudy.
Absolutely, yeah, with TJ Graves joining up here with a bunch of them here. Brandon Cruz and looks like Francisco joining in with them. The 3 of them trying to catch up to that front pack. And that will make a 13 car pack up in the front. But Corey Ross and Billy Cross, well, that's a mouthful right there. Say that 3 times real fast. Are trying to stay right there with them guys. But it's a long ways back to 16th place. They're 3 seconds behind the leader. Ivan Schrum in 17th. James Hickson 18th. Kenneth Wright 19th, and John Mushton in 20th. Those 2 working together pretty good, Kenneth Wright and John Mushton. Jay Anderson, I just want to mention here real quick, Jay Anderson back in 21st, but you know Jay's been keeping that truck out of all the trouble out here today, and I wish him luck at the beginning of the race. Jay, a longtime friend of mine actually. I've known him since I've been in iRacing, but he's doing really well keeping that truck out of the trouble today, and still in contention back here in 21st position, 4 seconds off the leader.
Speaking of the leader, they're separated right now. That's going to give Ryan Borges and George Bark the edge they've been finally looking for, if only they didn't get separated also. So the one opportunity that got hurt when Jeffrey Smith and Damon Gilbert, that is, sorry, that one, I was getting too mixed up, got separated there. So Damon Gilbert still battling hard on the inside line with Ryan Borges on the outside. We've seen a lot of good drivers in this race, and I think it's really showing now. With only 4 cautions, we're just hit the lap 125 mark, just 75 laps to go. These guys can see the $1,000. They see the money bags in the future for them. They're just not sure who's going to get it yet. It could be any of these guys. All of them are still in contention. If you're on the lead lap, if you're one of these 28 cars in the lead lap, and I don't even really say 30. If you're one of the 30 cars still within contention right now, it could be you. It's not over. For these guys, they have put on such a great event to this point in time. They all deserve this racing. They all deserve it right now. None of them have done anything wrong so far in this event, and they've just put on one great show for the fans that are watching this.
And they're coming up on some lap traffic to make it 3 wide again. It looks like that's going to happen about turn 3 or turn 4 as they come up on them pretty quick. That lap traffic is a lot slower than these guys in the draft because they've got nobody to draft with, and it looks like they are going to clear the turn coming down the front stretch, and this is not going to be a good place to do it, but boy, I'll tell you what, they're making it look pretty easy. The guys clear them. Good job.
That's really good for them here, and actually, how about Ryan Borges and that was George Bark. They're going to try to take the lead here. Ryan Borges, I know. Ryan Borges, I know how much he'd love to win $1,000 here. I hope all these guys. I mean, there's not a driver in this field right now who's not deserving the way that they race so far. And Ryan Borges is certainly wanting to make a statement for himself right now. Yes, he might not have his partner Travis Brown, but he has something just as good. George Bark. So George Bark's going to try to push him to the lead here. and they're not going to quite get clear, though. It's very difficult to do that here. We've seen a lot of people struggle with it tonight. And right now, people that are trapped right now include Cecil, Renee, and Dustin Lee. They are trapped right now behind this big pack, and they can't quite find a hole to go through, Rudy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Petey, I was just thinking about that when you were talking about that. You're going to hear some hooping and hollering here when we go to interview these winners, because I'll tell you what, whoever wins that $1,000, I know how I'd be. I'd be jumping up and down in my seat. I probably wouldn't be able to sit down for 20 minutes. So it's going to be interesting to see who's going to come out of this with $1,000 in their pocket.
Like I said, it's anyone's race right now. No one's out of it, and everyone's making.
Somebody just got hooked there. I seen him go around. It looked like the 2034 Billy Cross. Billy Cross going around. I didn't see exactly what happened to him there. We're going to go back and take a look at that. Beans were still under green. I don't know if he got hooked on somebody's bumper or if he got hooked. Looks like he got hooked right there, and that would have been by TJ Graves. TJ Graves kind of looked to the inside, went below the yellow line right there, and I don't think Billy Cross seen him, and when he come back down, TJ hooked him. So very unfortunate.
Tough break there for Billy Cross. But Mr. Excitement, speaking of him, he's...
TJ's back in the 16th spot. Just right now, he just got passed up by Bobby Stewart and Ivan Schrum. And he's without a partner back there right now, so...
Tough for him, but it's this battle for the lead still raving here. Ryan Borges led that one by a very close margin. It was just 7/1000 of a second we saw Borges lead that lap. So Ryan Borges still out here putting the grind on, trying to get that lead. But him and George Barker have done a great job working together, and same can be said about Jeffrey Smith and the number 68 of Damon Gilbert. And Rudy, I have to believe we're closing in on another cycle of green flag pit stops in just about 10 or 12 laps here, Rudy.
Yeah, it's getting pretty close here. The guys are probably already starting to plan up their strategy, checking tires, making sure they got the right amount of fuel in. You know, and all this while they're driving out there, folks. So, you know, you got to understand all that these drivers have to do while they're out there driving. They have to not only watch your rearview mirror, their front, their side, but they got to plan their pit strategy. They've got to be communicating with their partner, whether it's a new partner or an old partner. They're still communicating with them. So a lot going through the drivers' heads out there right now as they're closing down on green flag pit stops.
So that's going to be something we're going to have to watch for here in the upcoming laps. And guys are just trying to finish this event out strong. I'm expecting to see probably 3 more pit stops here. It'll be close though. Probably one here around lap 140. And maybe just 2, I think. Because if they can make one around 141 or 142 and then one around 171 or 172, they should be good to the end. So possibly just 2 more pit stops here. But it'll be close. It'll be very close, especially if we don't see them make it to the 141 or 142 mark here. Hopefully we'll see a lot of them make it, because I certainly don't want to see us come out of a fuel mileage race, because a super speedway fuel mileage race usually doesn't end well.
Right.
But with the green light checkers, we won't have to worry about that one here, because this league caught ahead and actually set that up. That's very cool. Is we still see Ryan Borges falling back a little bit now. He's battling on the outside of Mitchell Reeves. Reeves had a great night so far and still up there in the mix. Him and his partner right now, the 24 of Sean Bowney, they're trying to find their way to the lead. As no one can seem to find a way around that Jeffrey Smith entry right now, Rudy.
Oh, that's for sure. He has been, since he's got out there in the lead, he's just been like setting sail. Damon Gilbert right on his tail and not giving up on him. And, you know, when you find a partner out there, you don't want to give up on him. And, you know, I know $1,000 is on the line, but when it comes down to the last lap, all bets are off. There is no partners. It's every man for himself. And we've yet to see that come about. We're about 67 laps from the win here, from the last lap. And still some good racing going on and lots to come here, folks. George Bark now in 5th. He's still in contention.
Yes, George Bark pushing the Ryan Borges entry, man. He's having a good night himself, George Bark. Always a contender in these super speedway races. I remember another league, can't remember quite the name of it, but back about a month ago, he won their season opener at Daytona in a truck, so think that was about a 100-lap race, and George Bark trying to double that and win 200 laps and $1,000. And best part about this one is the last thing I said, it'd be $1,000 presented by the Mrs. Dockside 500 tier, presented by the Pro Series League. Pro Series League, like I've said a bunch of times, right? Check them out, just Allen Pros and League page. And go, oh, sketchy situation there. The last car, they all get beat up. That was tight.
Yeah, it was.
The other one to mention is GeorgeBark.com for all your karting needs and Bones Racing. So, all the sponsors tonight for this spectacular event as we see the number 33 of Ryan Borges make another charge at the front. Here comes Borges, he wants to take the lead. He has a great run, but him and Bark, this time they keep on each other's bumpers, but will they have the momentum? That's the real question. It's going to be close here, Rudy.
As they come down the front stretch here and getting ready to come to the line, it looks like the inside line is going to just have about a half a truck on Ryan Borges, as it looked like George Bark had to back off of Borges' bumper to get a little air in there, or he was probably going to pop the engine on that thing.
Don't want to do that. Popping the engine is a good thing to do.
Drafting here, as important as it is, you know, these guys want to stay up underneath the tail of their partner, but when air can't get in that radiator to keep the engine cool, boy, it's an easy way to blow an engine up, and you know, we've seen it happen so many times. And it all happens so quick, you don't even have time to react. You lift off that gas and it's too late, already blow up. So, seen it happen. And it looks like Dustin Lee on the inside of Ryan Borges, and that's for the 6th spot as they come by. Dustin Lee getting caught back up to his partner, Damon Gilbert, running in 2nd. Kevin Savory joins the fun right there behind Dustin Lee, too.
Dustin Lee just trying to find his way back up to the front in this event here. Lee, with a great car, truck that rather, has had all night. He's trying to find his way up to this lead in this event. He is in the 6th position, trying to find his way up to 1st, although 1st is quite a bit away. Speaking Daytona-wise, as he has to find his way around a bunch of other great trucks. It'll be interesting to see if he works with the number 89 of Kevin Savory, or if he works with the number 76 of Eric M. Wilson. It looks as though he's working with Savory. Nope, he's going to dive it in. He's going to think about Wilson. Wilson's going to be optioned here for the number 51 of Dustin Lee. Lee working hard here to try and find his way back up to the front. And he's going to hook up to the pad machine of Eric Wilson. He just can't make up his mind here. Maybe he's just going to stick in line. That might be a smarter thing to do here. Who knows, though? This could be very, very interesting situation for him and everyone involved in that. Don't know what's going to happen. But, yeah, this is just starting to real calm down, Rudy. I think that's probably the final time tonight we'll see him calm down now.
Oh, yeah, I think so. Because as we get probably within about the 40 to go mark, after they make their green flag pit stops, we're going to see guys drive these trucks different than they drove them all night. They're going to get a lot more racy. They're going to get braver. There's a couple of guys now coming down pit road there. I see George Bark and Ryan Borges on pit road.
So they're going to be the first ones. And I think this is just outside the window, Rudy. I could be wrong, but yeah, I'm not sure.
I think they were one of the first ones to pit earlier, if you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Borges almost missed his pit stall. He had to back up a little bit, so yeah, it might be a little early for them. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it. I think anyone who can make it past 141 or 142 is definitely good for one more pit stop. If you pit now or within the next, or if you pit between now and 140, you're going to be edge. You're going to need a caution, and right now it's looking rough for. This is a long race too. You could have another caution come up here. Who knows what could happen as well. We see a lot of leaders still say out. I believe most of these guys are probably going to try to wait out to the mark that I just noted.
Right. Exactly, and that's probably what I would do too. But like I said, I think Ryan Borges and George Bark pitted early that last time, and so they were probably going to be about a lap or two short of making that 140 mark. So I think they probably had to come down pit road.
It was probably necessary. You're probably correct there, Rudy. Still haven't seen any more people come down pit road. I anticipate them, like I said, probably 2 to 3 more laps before they pit. Anytime, if they pit now or next lap, I still think they're going to be a teeny bit short, might need a caution, but we're going to see Damon Gilbert come down pit road.
Yeah, Damon Gilbert.
And I believe that will also attract down the, can't tell what number that was, they go by, so that was Dustin Lee.
Dustin Lee, yep.
I kind of figured that might be.
Yeah, those two are going to get back together, and which I figured that was probably going to happen. Those two going to get back together.
They're also possibly in that range of 1 to 2 lap shorts. So this is going to be close here. It's the laps about here. You can make it almost about 38 laps. I've done many of these races in my days, and it's been interesting to watch. Although I could be wrong, they could make it a little bit longer. Depends on how hard they're drafting too. So maybe they could save some fuel in the draft. Who knows? We will see though, because this is going to be close here, dude.
Jeffrey Smith and his teammate Mitchell Reeves go by pit road entrance one more time. They've got Sean Boundy right there with them. And it's quite a little ways back here to Eric Wilson, Kevin Savory, Brandon Cruz, Francisco, Ivan, and Bobby Stewart. These guys all pretty much ganged up here together, all the way back to Corey Ross. Corey Ross back in the 10th spot. The rest of them, a few of them are lap down vehicles mixed in there. So, but we're going to watch here and see when these leaders are going to come down pit road, because this can't be much longer, Petey.
I think they're safe now. The more I think about it with the draft and everything, I think everyone's probably safe. Even Ryan Borges and George Bark, I don't think there's no danger zone. The more...
Yeah, here they come.
They almost turned each other come down pit road.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Smith entry was very slow getting on the pit road here. And he's going to enter pit road second behind these guys. So Jeffrey Smith, he was a little hot coming to the pit road there, but certainly a good stop. Oh, he missed the stall completely and hit the inside wall. Jeffrey Smith goes from bad to worse here. And it appears though the rest of them got into their stalls just fine, but Jeffrey Smith is having problems, Rudy.
Oh yes, definitely. And he's really tight up against that wall. So right side tire's on, but he's going to have a little bit of damage on that truck now, unless he had a reset. But I don't think he did. But that's going to put Eric Wilson out in the lead now. On lap one. Oh, what? Somebody come right up in front of Eric Wilson, the number 6 right there. I don't know what happened there. Wow, that was intense. That almost was a major wreck. Karsten come right up in front of our leader.
Yeah, I'm looking at this right now. It looks like Karsten was in the middle of the track. He saw the leaders. He didn't know where to go, so he went low. And then he went high, and he just killed him. Cautions out on the speedway, though. Don't see where that was.
On pit road, Francisco getting spun and going into the wall. Let's go back and see. It was something, I think, when they were getting ready. Actually, it was all there, the number 6 coming on pit road. And boy, it's kind of unnerving there to what happened. I don't know what happened.
Like they were 3 wide, and I don't know, Rudy. iRacing has this new thing where they glitch out sometimes, and I completely lost that. But all I saw was Francisco and Corey A. Ross were involved in that accident. Did you catch anything else, Rudy?
Well, Francisco's up the middle. The guys they parted him, and it looks like they kind of, they ganged up on him. One hit him from the inside, one hit him from the outside, and then, more of them got together with him. The 23. The number 23 there, Corey Ross getting into him, and that spins him across pit road, and that's what brought the caution out.
So we're going to have this caution with about just a quarter of a race to go. 3/4 done. We are going to have just about 50 laps to go when we get back underway. Karsten John Tomasos came over and actually apologized to the other drivers. He said he just was simply not paying attention. So tough break there for Karsten. Hopefully we'll see him. I mean, that didn't really affect too many people. He got the worst part of it, if anyone. So this is going to shuffle things up here, and pit strategy was not quite done yet. And what's actually going to happen here is by the time things all shuffle through, Sean Boundy should, and I say should, be your leader, but I'm not 100% sure on this one, Rudy.
Yeah, because all these guys up front here are going to want to pit. Caution probably, well, to the guys that pitted, it did not come out at a good time. But the guys that needed to pit, it come out at a perfect time, because they were probably going to be looking at coming down pit road in the next lap anyhow. So, and yeah, it looks like our leader Eric Wilson going to bring them down pit road. Kevin Savory joining them, and we may not get a whole bunch of them to come down pit road. I don't know. It looks like we are. Quite a few of them.
It appears as though we have seen, almost all of them just coming down pit road. More than I actually thought. First car, I'm trying to figure this all out. Staying out. Looking through the field, the first car, it's Sean Boundy.
Yep.
So Bounty's going to be your new leader here when everything cycles through. And this is a lot. This caution changed everything. Just the 5th caution of the race on lap 150, Rudy.
Yeah, it sure has changed everything. You know, these guys with the caution coming out like that. Yeah, this is going to be a big game changer for everybody. Mitchell Reeves in second. Now that was a good comeback for Mitchell though to get back up there into the mix of things after having that. I don't know what his deal was there at the beginning when he fell back so far, but here he is back up in second. Damon Gilbert third, Dustin Lee fourth, George Bark fifth, Ryan Borges sixth, Jeffrey Smith seventh, John Mushton in eighth, Gary Bauer ninth, and Eric Wilson the top 10. So yeah, this has jumbled them up a little bit.
And it's really a game. I mean, we said it like a few minutes ago, but this is a big game changer here. Everything is just got flipped upside down, and we're going to see some pit strategy. Everyone's going to have to make one more pit stop from this point on. No more fuel strategy. It's simple. One more stop, and you're going to make it to the finish line. So hopefully we will see a lot of good action, and I wouldn't even be that surprised when green to the end, Rudy.
Yeah, me neither. The way these guys have been racing, that's for sure, man. I look for it to go green the rest of the way. We may see this finish under green, and that would be great. We don't want to see that green-white checkered 2 or 3 times, because you know as well as I do, PD, you know, when the guys start coming down pit road and they start, you know, I'm sorry, he was coming on pit road. When they come down to that, like them last few laps like that, everybody's going to race harder than they've raced all race, and we're going to see guys taking chances they've never taken. We've seen guys stuff it in a hole where there isn't room to fit a truck, and you know we're going to see things happen, and that's when we're going to see probably more than one green-white checker. So we hope that it doesn't come down to that.
Hopefully it will not. But who knows? Anything can happen. I don't know, man. This is going to be interesting. There's just so much to cover here, and so many drivers have been in contention all night. One of them, who is really surprising me right now, trying to look for his name. I thought I saw him in the top 10, but I could be wrong. No, I was actually wrong on that one. Travis Brown was actually taking behind the wall. For a second there, I thought I saw Travis Brown in the top 10, and I was like, whoa, that machine was pretty damaged. How bad? You know, he's simply out of the race.
Yeah, I don't think that would happen.
But we will probably see a short pitch strategy, I believe. I've been talking to some race experts here under these yellows, and they've been telling me that there's a good chance we see a short pitch strategy determine the result of this race here as the closing laps on line.
Yeah, and you know, and that's all on the driver's call. You know, the guys have got to make that as a team, or you know, it's hard to make it on their own. It's just a call on taking that chance if you want a short pit, and that's thinking that this will go green the rest of the way. That could be really, you know, it could really pay off for them. But now, if we did get a caution, then that would maybe hurt them. So. You know, some guys, they like to stay out and wait to see if there is a caution, and if a caution does come out, then everybody can pit, and fuel strategy is out the window. You know, you don't even have to worry about it anymore. So, but yeah, we can see it all out here today. This is everybody makes a different call, different strategies, and we'll have to see who's is going to pay off and who's is going to hurt them.
And it's really a 50-50 chance right now on what happens. So.
Oh,
I'm
right.
not sure.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going to happen here. One thing I do know for sure is Sean Boundy's going to be leading them down, so Sean Boundy is going to try to hopefully hold on here and just keep his car facing straight. That's all you need to do at this point in the race. Although, who knows, it could be... It's just anyone's at this point. It's really who just keeps their car facing the right direction right now.
Well, this is caution number 5, and we've had 49 lead changes. That's just unheard of. I think that's some kind of a record, ain't it?
That's pretty amazing.
It's wild. Sean Boundy's led 5 laps here. Coming to the line, it'll be lap 6 that he's led, if he does lead that, with Mitchell Reeves up on the high side. Mitchell may have something different to say about that. He's got Dustin Lee pushing him. And just a note here, Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert are back together again, starting 3rd and 4th.
So that's a combination we've been waiting to see get together here. Gilbert is going to be on the outside. I mean, the inside here.
Yeah.
And Dustin Lee's going to be on the outside. So hopefully them two will get together here and push themselves up front. It should be. You'll see for yourselves here, folks. Here they come, getting ready to go green again. It's Sean Boundy's going to lead him down. I think his first time he's going to lead him down all night. I was outside Mitchell Reeves, a car who led a lot of laps early. Here they come, green flag flies, and here goes Boundy. Boundy takes off, no one with a clear advantage so far, and Boundy is going to hold on the inside right now with the 0-2 of Mitchell Reeves on the outside, as well as the lap 150 mark.
Dustin Lee trying to stay right there with Mitchell Reeves, but Mitchell pulls ahead just a little bit. Ryan Borges now up on the high side is going to get maybe hooked up with them. Oh, Dustin Lee gets a little bit of a bumper job there from his teammate, David Gilbert, as they fall right in behind Sean Boundy. Now they're nose to tail all the way back through double file. The whole field double file. Wow, this is pretty wild as Dustin Lee goes into second.
Dustin Lee is going to push Sean Boundy to the advantage. But he has his buddy right behind Damon Gilbert. I don't know if he's trying to set Sean Boundy up or whatnot, but I'm sure he wants to get help from Damon Gilbert right now, not from Sean Boundy. Not that Boundy's a bad guy to work with, it's just that he's not his buddy here.
Right.
And the best thing right now is for you to have your buddy. As right now, everyone might have to find some new buddies, though, the way these guys have been racing tonight, as you see the 0-2 with Mitchell Reeves on the outside racing with the Damon Gilbert entry. Here he goes, and okay, now they don't have a chance. Damon Gilbert and Dustin Lee, and they will. They'll pull to the outside, and they're going to take this easily, really. Sean Boundy has no chance. He's all by himself.
Yeah, Mitchell Reeves gets stuck up on the high side, and Ryan Borges drops down to the low side. Now he's coming up on him. Yeah, you are right. Dustin Lee did get a good run with Gilbert, and they come down. Boy, it's a tight fit, but they slide it right there in front of Sean Boundy.
So that will give the lead to Dustin Lee. Dustin Lee takes over the lead he lost in that wreck earlier. So very exciting to see Lee get the advantage back. We see the 0-2 Mitchell Reeves charging on the outside here. That's Mitchell Reeves. Mitchell Reeves is just trying to find his way back up front here. After a long hiatus from it, he wants to take it back here. Here we go. This is going to be close as he's charging. He has a lot of help from that Jeffrey Gilbert machine. Correct me, that was actually Jeffrey Smith. Jeffrey Smith's going to push him. They're dead even now, Rudy.
Yes, they're side by side coming into the turn, but you know how that low line is. Dustin Lee's going to have the advantage. Coming out of the turn, they're still side by side, but Dustin Lee's got about a truck advantage. And boy, I'll tell you what, he's taking advantage of that. Mitchell Reeves up on the high side trying to get a run, as he still falls into second place right there for a minute. And now goes back to third. So, man, these guys are getting awful racy. They know it's clicking down. We're 50 to go.
50 laps to go.
Yeah, Ryan Borges now back to sixth.
So we have just 50 laps to go here from Daytona, and it's the final fourth. We completed the first 3 fourths, and now it's time to go. You thought they were racing dicey early. Wait now. 3, 4, 5 wide racing's going to come down here. These guys are going to go for it. This is for $1,000. Not 1,000 internet dollars. Lap card drama here, but 1,000 real world dollars. You can spend it on whatever you want, and you know what? I mean, this is probably one of the bigger ever cash prizes in sim racing, and these guys are out here racing for it. Dustin Lee and Mitchell Reeves right now are the guys racing for that 1,000, Rudy.
Absolutely. Everybody wants that money in their pocket, and they're going to do whatever it takes to get that money in their pocket. Other than wrecking somebody, you don't want to do that. You know, you wreck somebody, you're going to probably get wrecked out too. But man, this is getting exciting now as we're in the final quarter of this race. This is really good, and it looks like we've got about 18 cars in that pack. Or trucks. Let me say trucks, okay? 19 trucks in that pack. Back to 19th place is Ivan Schrum, 2.6 seconds back with his partner Bobby Stewart, and these guys could be just playing it safe right here, right now. I don't know, giving themselves a little bit of breathing room in case something does happen up ahead of them. They have time to check up.
Battle for the lead still. Mitchell Reeves. We have 2 lanes now, one on the inside, one on the outside. The outside lane trying to take it to Reeves, and Jeffrey, they're battling hard here. They want to take the advantage for themselves as we watch them. Right behind them is that number 12 entry. We've seen a lot of cars that have been up here all night finally starting to show their true strengths. They still have one more green flag pit stop to make, but that's not for a little while, Rudy, as we watch that number 51 of Dustin Lee try to lead over Damon Gilbert. Gilbert is in third right now. He is trying to push him to the advantage. This is just intense racing. Oh, the move to the outside is that number 36 entry as the racing's starting to intensify here, Rudy.
Oh yeah, these guys are really turning up the heat right now. They know that it's coming down to this, to the final, and you know, we still got one more pit stop to go. So you know, this is what these guys have got to do. They've got to get themselves set up for that. So they got to get clear of each other. Sorry. I've been sneezing my head off. Sorry.
Well, it's okay, Rudy, because we're in for some intense racing now as these guys are getting ready to battle it out for the end here. This is the clutch time of the race when you got to race your heart out here, and Mitchell Reeves is on the outside of Dustin Lee. It's been a dead even every single lap. Remember, they have a pit stop to make, so this isn't even the end of it here. But right now, it appears as though we have about, let's see how many cars are in contention. It's about the top. Oh, third caution review. Did you see what happened?
Oh, no. Go back here and check it out. Oh, yeah. Gary Bauer getting spun around. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened to Gary Bauer, the number 27.
So Gary Bauer, trouble in the early stages of this event, finds it again. I'm going to try and see what happens there while Rudy looks up the caution, and he'll describe it to you as we see it play by play here. Gary Bauer, it appears as though... did you see what happened there, Rudy?
I'm looking at it here. He looks like, okay, he does get hooked there, and that would be by Jay Anderson. Jay Anderson giving him the old bumper hook there. Not intentional, just, you know, we know how that bumper hook is. It looks like he may have drove into him kind of hard, and that did spin him around. Jay continues on, but Gary Bauer going to slip back quite a ways in the field. Now, I'm thinking probably Jay did get some damage on the front end of that truck. Looks like it might have even...
That was a simple single car accident there, Rudy. Nothing too big.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Gary's okay. He just spun around. I don't think he hit anything. So, and I don't see any damage on Jay's truck at all. It looked like it just, like I said, one of them hooks. So, are we going to see the leaders come down pit road? It looks like Dustin Lee may be heading for it.
What I've heard is 40 laps. You can make it 40 laps, and they're out the window. We did see some people come down, though, Rudy. Some guys around, we're a little bit back. Ryan Borges is one of them. Justin Mustaine, Sean Boundy. So it was about 50-50 split there.
Yep. George Bark on pit road. So a lot of the guys do, you know, wanting to they're going to probably, that's going to be like their short pit. Now they're going to probably still have to do one more pit stop.
A quick one.
Yeah.
All they'll have to do is go come down pit road, take about half a second of gas, and they're gone.
Yeah. And if, you know, they're going to be back in the field, they could play this out smart, be back in the field, and just before this does go green, pull in, top off that tank, and should be able to make it to the end. It would be close.
Hope it works out for them here, although it's going to be tight.
I got to step away for 1 second, Ryan. Or Petey. I got Ryan Borges on the brain. Petey, I'll be right back.
Alright, folks, and while we wait for Rudy to get back, we'll talk a little bit more about our sponsors here. So, the Mrs. Dockside Realty, a great realty company that is brought to us here, sponsoring this event. Be sure to check them out and just type it in your Google bar. Mrs. Dockside Realty, a great realtor, you know, best you can get around this area. Another sponsor is the Pros League. Just dial that. Go to iRacing.com and go to Leagues and dial in Pros, P-R-O-S. A wonderful league there. This is basically a pros race, just an exhibition race. Be sure to check them out if you want to win big money and big prizes in their events. Another fantastic sponsor of this is the GeorgeBark.com, George Bark Competition Karting. Be sure to check them out for all your karting needs. Probably the best karting website there is for you to check out there. And finally, Bones Racing. Bones Racing is just a quality racing service. Just Google them. Bones Racing, just another fantastic sponsor of this event. So, them are our sponsors. And, man, it's going to be close on field here, folks, as I wait for Rudy to return to me.
I'm back.
Oh, okay, Rudy. This should be fantastic to watch these guys try to make it on field here.
Now I had to open the window in here. It was getting pretty warm. The booth was getting hot.
And so the action on the track.
Yeah, this computer puts off so much heat. It's just unbelievable. You know, I could, if I could have the door open, which I can't because My wife and them are trying to sleep, but if I could have the door open, I think it would heat the whole house.
Man, just having a little bit of fun while we get ready here for another restart. This should be a lot of fun to watch here, folks. Whew, we're only have about 40 laps to go, and this is just a sprint now, Rudy.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think if the guys at the back of the field could just, stop right here on this last lap and top off them tanks, I think they could make it to the end. It would be so close. I think I would take a chance on it.
You've been out of contention all night. You haven't had a car that could win. You can't get up there with the leaders. Your only chance to win strategy. Of course you go for it here.
Yep. Hey, Columbus took a chance,
And you know what? We're all here right now, aren't we?
That's right.
So, just having a little bit of fun. One shout out I'd like to give is to Tony Oldham. Tony Oldham is adminning this event, and he's doing a lot of work dealing with the cautions and whatnot. He hasn't had to deal with a lot tonight. I think just 6 in 160 laps, so that's a very good batting average we've seen tonight. But Tony doing a great job adminning this event, Rudy.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a thankless job. It's a relentless job. It's just never ending. There's so much to watch out there on the track, and knowing all the commands to type in to clear black flags, give black flags. Watching everything that's going on as these guys get ready to double up here and get ready to go back green. But a relentless job, a thankless job. That's about all I can say as being an admin. So thanks a lot, Tony. Great job up there in the booth.
He's done a fantastic job tonight, almost as good as these drivers out here, but these drivers made his job really easy tonight with the racing they've put on, and it just should be fun to watch these guys. We're only have like 40 laps, Rudy. This is it. This is it, the $1,000 grind. They're getting ready. The drivers are strapped in. Their crew chiefs are telling them, this is it, man. You've led all night. It's time to go now. And I'm sure these drivers are well prepared, and it's time, Rudy.
We did see a couple of guys right at the very tail end there, Michael Van der Zaal and Chris Jennings, that did duck into pit road, top off that tank. So they may be 2 of the 3 of the guys. I think somebody else tried too. Who is that? Nicholas Doucette, which is back on the lead lap. Them 3 could possibly come out of this with a win here tonight just by doing that.
It all depends on the factors in this event, and the factors tonight have been very favorable to the drivers, although we still have the best 40 laps of action you're going to see all year to go, folks, so be ready to watch that, and here we go, folks. The pace cars lead them through turns 3 and 4, and it's about to go down here from Daytona International Speedway, and this is Dockside 500. Dustin leads the leader, Mitchell Reed's in 3rd, Damon Gilbert 3rd, and 4th is Jeffrey Smith. 5th to Kevin Savory, and here we go. Pace car getting ready to pull off, and this is it, folks. This is going to be one of the final restarts of the event. Dustin Lee leads him down, waits for the green flag, and green flag in the air. Dustin Lee with another fantastic restart here. So Dustin Lee's going to lead him down, and he's going to try to get hooked up with Damon Gilbert quick as the outside line got hooked up real quickly.
And we got 42 laps to go, and Mitchell Reeves trying to get a run on that outside. Him and Jeffrey Smith, man, I'm telling you what, they got a good run, but Dustin Lee kind of shot out there by himself for a minute and got away from Damon Gilbert. Now Damon's collected back in behind him, and those 2 trying to stay up ahead. And Damon's not really right on the bumper per se. He's kind of leaving a little bit of distance between them for cooling, but I think right now, it looks like right now maybe he is doing some pushing. So yeah, these guys trying to stay out ahead.
Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert working fantastic together. So we are seeing the nitty-gritty of this race coming down to these drivers. Remember, one more pit stop for these guys. Me and Rudy talked about it. Maybe a possibility a few guys in the back will make it, but it's a 50-50 chance right now. So we will see, as the battle for the leads is just as good as it's been all night. I almost want to say it's heating up, but from the action we've seen tonight, this is just as good as it's been all night. So these guys certainly know what they're doing, and they came ready for this big event. As they're actually going to fall back a little bit. Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert get a little bit of advantage, Rudy.
Yeah, I wanted to note here Bobby Stewart and Ivan Schrum coming high on that outside. Now, you remember earlier they were staying way back in the field, and they've kept them trucks clean all night, and here they are up here in the top 10. So, man, I'll tell you what, my hat's off to the racing that they've done here tonight. Staying out of trouble and keeping them trucks clean all the way to the end and ready to hopefully bring home a win here tonight. That would be great. Look-alike trucks, sister trucks, painted up really nice there, purple and white and black. Look sharp.
It looks very, looks very sharp. Sorry, excuse me there. 16-03 trying to make a late race charge here, and we're going to see them try to find their way into this mix, although Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert, they have found themselves in a very, very prestige position here. They are in the $1,000 spot as of right now. They're going to try to get their job done here. But they have hard charger on the outside. Mitchell Reeves. Reeves has been up there all night, and Reeves certainly wants to leave here with the money. And well, I know I say that, but who doesn't want to leave with money? And Rudy, look who's up to 7th and now 6th. Your buddy Jay Anderson starting to show some muscle late in this one.
Yeah, I know it. Well, he's one of them guys that he likes to be there at the end, and he has stayed out of trouble. Thank goodness he has kept that truck clean today. I always see poor Jay get caught up in somebody else's, wrecking or something, and gets taken out of contention. But here he is challenging for the 4th spot. Pretty quick here, running in second, and doing a good job of it, man. I'll tell you what, we've got a good car pull away here all the way back to 15th, 14th place. Brandon Cruz in 14th right now, and these guys a full second ahead of Ryan Borges and George Bark. But don't count them two out by any means, because they still got a lot of racing to go and one more pit stop.
So that's the Reeves machine and 51 of Dustin Lee. Don't forget, after the race we will talk for our top 5, but right now we're just trying to figure out who our top 5 is going to be. Should be exciting to watch these guys go at it here, as Dustin Lee is trying to take this lead on the inside. Try to hold off Mitchell Reeves. Reeves with a great run all night, and who knows what's going to happen here. Reeves just needs to hang on here and get ready for this final pit stop. All these drivers do. They can pit anytime they want now, and we know they're good, Rudy.
Definitely, yeah. There's with the green flag pit stops, planned up. I'm sure they've already got something in the works, of strategies going on behind the scenes that we don't even get to hear. And it's all kind of secretive stuff, because nobody wants to let the other team know what they're going to do. But we may see 4 or 5, maybe 6 trucks come down pit road together. We don't know. It's all going to be a surprise to us as it is to you guys watching. So, but great run by these guys. This is good up here. Good racing going on.
As we see, Lee, he got involved in that big wreck. We thought he was done for, but he kept his truck so clean he had to repair, and now he's leading this event over the Mitchell Reeves entry. So these guys have done a spectacular job all night, and they're probably going to continue on. So still 6 cautions in this event as we close on 30 to go, and we see Reeves making a hard charge on the inside here. Reeves definitely wants to take over the advantage here as we are in the closing laps of this event. And Reeves is actually going to fall back a little bit. Dustin Lee has a good advantage now right over the, Damon Gilbert entry, his partner of all night. And here comes Reeves again, though, with help from Jeffrey Smith. Smith has had a great, quiet night all night. I hate to say it's quiet, but he hasn't really made much noise. He's been up here in the front, never quite the leader. So we're watching Jeffrey Smith get it done now when it's time to go. And, man, these guys, they know it's for $1,000, and even the top 5. You need to be in the top 5 if you want to get money, and I'm sure they're all very, very aware of that, as we're about to see some spectacular action like we've seen all night continue on in these closing laps.
Well, Jeffrey Smith has led 21 laps here tonight, so he's no stranger to the lead, but he wants to get back up there when the time is right. They've still got 35 laps to go when they cross the line. So lots of racing to go here, folks. Man, I'm telling you, this is going to be good. It's going to be white knuckle all the way to the end. I'm sure these guys out here, I've heard of guys, and you probably have too, Petey, that when they got done racing, they were just wringing wet with sweat, because it just means that much to them. The intensity of the racing out there, with these guys so close to each other, side by side like that, the intensity is just, man, it just builds you up.
It does, and we will see these guys try to continue on the intensity for the rest of this event. Still, Dustin Lee and Mitchell Reeves. This has been a battle we've talked about all night. Reeves and Lee are still battling here. Damon Gilbert is in the 3rd position, followed by Jeffrey Smith. Smith certainly wants to be able to take home his share of the money, but he has a little bit of work to do to get there. These guys still have that pit stop to talk about. If we get another caution, I think them guys that pitted are definitely going to make it, Rudy. So that we should note that just in case we do see another caution, although I'm not sure if we will. But man, this is starting to intensify, and these guys know it's go time, and we're seeing these guys go at the right time. We've seen a lot of comers and goers, and this is getting intense.
As the 36 right there of Jeffrey Smith tries to get down there and get a little side draft and helping his partner out, Mitchell Reeves. And those two still trying to get by on the high side as Dustin Lee continues to lead. Jay Anderson riding here in 6th place, right behind the Hooters machine. And Jay finally getting himself into contention here toward the end of the race, and that's when it all counts, when you come down to the end. So good luck, Jay. We wish all these drivers a good luck out here. $1,000 riding on the line.
Certainly no favorites here, but there's always guys we like to see win the race, and not there's anyone we don't like to see win the race. This is big. This is one of the bigger events in iRacing history as we watch Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert continue on. And I know we've only really talked about the battle for the lead as of late, but there hasn't been really a lot of other battling going on right now. All the good battling has been going on up here, and we should be able to see, man, look, here comes Mitchell Reeves again being pushed by Jeffrey Smith. Jeffrey Smith has just been doing a great job pushing that Reeves machine, and Reeves is almost to the point, Rudy.
And they may be doing a little bit of testing the waters up there too, but it's still early because I do believe these guys in the front right here are going to have to pit. I don't believe they can make it the rest of the way because they did have quite a few green flag laps on them trucks before that caution come out, and most of them did not pit up there in the front. So I think we're still going to have to see some green flag pit stops by these guys, and even if it is just a splash of gas and go.
Yeah. And it will be interesting to see. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. But I don't know here. It's going to be interesting. Dustin Lee's still going on. And still leading this event. And I'm going to go check back to the field, Rudy.
Yeah, I wanted to go back here. 22nd place, George Bark back here. They're 32 seconds behind that lead pack because I believe they short pitted. So they could be in contention here for the win when it comes down to it, if this thing stays green the rest of the way. So they're the glass half full type of drivers. Then we got the glass half empty type of drivers out there that may be banking on another caution coming out, and that would throw George Barks and Ryan Borges' theory right out of the window, their strategy. So this could be like I said, you know, when we were talking about this early, Petey, it all depends on the drivers, you know, their strategies. It can come back to bite you, or it could be a good thing, and we don't know. It's like you said, a 50-50 chance.
It's a 50-50 chance here, and who knows? It's going to come down to the late stages of this event, and it's still anyone's event here. It's
leaders coming down pit road. Yes,
30 to go.
And see, this is what I was talking about right here. See, now this is going to put George Bark and Ryan Borges right back into the mix of things, as these guys all come back on pit road. And Dustin Lee goes way past his pit stall, has to back up 2 times. So that's going to hurt Dustin Lee a lot right there on pit road. His partner gets off first. Dustin Lee comes off second. That's going to put them way back in 21st position as Kevin Savory takes over the lead now.
You could recover from that a lot earlier, but at this point in the event, it's too late. He just might have cost himself a $1,000 shot, Rudy.
Sure.
Man, that's a really tough one. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow for his camp there. Like you said, though, Kevin Savory to the point, so 89 Machine is leading this event, not pitting this time. Right behind him is the number... Actually, no, he's the leader. Jay Anderson right behind him. And look at the charge from TJ Graves. Where did Mr. Excitement come from? This is why we call him Mr. Excitement, because he always takes the lead when we least expect it. And here he is, the 32, coming when it matters.
Them are the type of guys, they sit back there quietly, and you know, I know he did get involved in that incident there earlier, but he sits back here quietly, and here he is going for the lead. And who's he working with? Daniel Eberhardt, isn't he?
What a comeback by Eberhardt. Eberhardt was just a lap down after being black flagged, and now he's back in this event. How things have changed here, and Eberhardt could win it, and oh my goodness, what a comeback story that would be. But you want to talk about good stories? TJ Graves, involved in multiple wrecks, ditched by all his partners, could not contend this whole race. And suddenly in the closing laps, TJ Graves finds himself a contender, and TJ Graves could find himself in the Katzberg seat. Here comes Mr. Excitement. He knows it's time to go. Just around 25 laps to go, and it is time to see Mr. Excitement race.
And he just led that lap, Petey. So he led his first lap of the race right there. So that's a huge comeback for TJ Graves. And they're coming up on lap traffic here really quick. They're about to take it 3 wide into turn 3. Is somebody there up on the high side and not have their momentum build up just quite yet. Stays way up high, lets the leaders go by, so good job by these guys. I did not see who that was, and they still go by pit road one more time, and we still got Kevin Savory in the lead.
So Savory's in the lead, but TJ Graves battling hard with him on the outside, and man, this is getting intensified up here for the lead, and just watching these guys go at it right now, trying to watch TJ try to take the spot away from Jay here, and that's not actually Jay, that's Kevin Savory. So TJ is getting up involved in the action, and so is Daniel Eberhardt. Eberhardt is trying to push Graves to the point, and it's going to be close if he can get there. Whether or not he will is the real question now, as we watch Daniel Eberhardt try to push the Graves machine to the point.
Now, all the way back to the 15th place there, I'm not really too sure if any of them front 15 are going to have to pit or not. Billy Cross running in the 15th spot, 10.7 seconds behind the leader, and then it's like 24 seconds back to Ryan Borges and George Bark, which those two did the short pit, and we're going to wait and see how that's going to work out for them guys, because we don't know if any of these front 15 are going to have to pit again or not.
Will be close for them, so keep an eye on that, although I do believe that most will have to pit. Where it gets real interesting is around the Kenneth Wright and where are those machines? Michael Von Sydow, and a lot of these machines could possibly make it. As we watch these guys, I believe most of these guys in the lead pack lap to pit, if not all of them, but certainly some scenarios in the back that can make this situation a lot more interesting. And we watch TJ on the outside of Jay Anderson. TJ trying to find his way to the spot. Mr. Excitement is going now. He wants to find his way up there to battle with Kevin Savory. Savory also, another where did he come from driver, as he was battling for the win late in this stage of the event.
This is great, and Ivan Schrum and Bobby Stewart still hanging right there at the tail end of that front group. These guys about 11 seconds, 10 seconds ahead of 13th place John Mushkin and his partner Karsten. And let's see, I think Billy Cross is quite a ways behind them. So yeah, we're starting to see a lot of these guys. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it or not. We're going to have to wait and see. This is going to be interesting to see how this is going to work out.
And it will be very interesting to see how it works out as we watch the number 89 of Kevin Savory lead yet another lap, followed by Jay Anderson and TJ Graves. Graves going to battle to the outside. Pushing him is Daniel Eberhardt. Eberhardt trying to get up there and contend for this win. Eberhardt, we know, has a strong car, so it'll be interesting to see if Eberhardt can push Graves to the point. Graves, we know he has a good car. He's obviously just been saving it this whole event. So Graves right now, though, is trying to find his way up in the lead in the important stages of this race. And here he comes. Mr. Excitement is going to have a decent lead going to 3, but he needs Eberhardt to push. Eberhardt gets third, he saves it. What a save.
Man, and he comes right down the hill, right in front of Cecil Renee. I'm sorry, that was Eric Wilson, not Cecil Renee. I apologize. Cecil Renee up on the high side now. He is teamed up with the number 44 of James Hickson. And those two looking to try to get up to the front as Kevin Savory and Jay Anderson continue to lead.
Yeah, that was an intense moment.
Yeah.
And somehow Eberhardt and TJ are still 3rd and 4th. So they're by no means out of this event. As a 64 battling on the outside with a help from the 40. These two cars, they haven't been near the front all night, Rudy. Where have these two come from?
I know, they've been saving their equipment, and keeping that thing into contention. But yeah, we've got Cecil Renee right there on the high side working with James Hickson.
I don't think I've said the name Hickson all night, Rudy.
No.
And here he comes. Hickson pushing Cecil Renee. Renee is going to second that lap to the Kevin Savory machine, but it was close, so Cecil is just, oh my, this is intensifying here as Cecil Renee is going to try to hang on here, and he has a lot of help, though, from the 44 of James Hickson, who apparently decided, hey, I have the perfect strategy that's going to win me this race, and he's showing it right now. So
22 laps to go, and we're going to be crowning the winner here. We're going to be interviewing all the drivers here, folks, the top 5. So Make sure you stick around for the interviews. We're going to give them their prizes here right live, so you'll get to hear what everybody wins and hear their reaction. I know if I was the winner, I know how my reaction would be.
You're pretty ecstatic.
Yes, sir. Kevin Savory continuing to lead out front. Cecil Renee battling on the high side with James Hickson. So, boy, this has turned out to be a pretty good battle up in the front here. We've still got 10 trucks. Kenneth Wright back here in 10th spot. John Mushton, these guys running a couple seconds, about they're running about 12 seconds behind him.
Well, that's gonna certainly adjust the way things are going here, although speaking of adjusting, not a lot of adjusting having to go on for Cecil Renee. Renee taking the lead here. He's going to try to at least from that's not Jay Anderson, that is Kevin Savory. Kevin Savory, I keep messing them two up because we haven't seen either of them up front all night, but they're here when it matters. So
that's all that matters.
I think the entire top 10 right now has been in the top 10 all night, but they're here when it matters. The only one I recognize is Sean Boundy.
Yeah.
So Boundy has done a good job keeping his car near the front all night, but
well, we seen Brandon Cruz up there quite a bit earlier, and he fell back a little ways. I think it might have been because of pit stops or something. But here he is running back up in the 8th spot. Man, he's doing a great job keeping that truck in contention tonight.
He's done a fantastic job here, and this is 20 laps to go, Rudy. We're coming up to the final pit stops here any moment now. Remember, this is saying that we don't have the green-white checkered, so this could be a very interesting finish, need to say, but I hope we don't have to use them here. That would be nice to get this green to the end as they appear they want to right now. As still continuing to lead this race, Kevin Savory putting on one heck of a show, and his Hooters car, it took him all night to find the front, but he found it when it was the right time to go.
And my question is, Petey, can these guys make it the rest of the way without stopping for fuel? We've seen some guys short pit with trying that strategy. These guys staying out here thinking there might be a caution and might not have to come down pit road if a caution comes out and can stay out there in that lead. And, this could be really interesting as TJ Graves tries to fight back on the high side again. Look at this, trying to get a little side draft off of Kevin Savory. And is he going to make it to the line this time? I don't know. Savory fighting back hard on the inside, and no, TJ Graves leads that lap.
So Graves fighting back hard here, and man, TJ's. I didn't think he had the ability to get up here tonight the way his luck's.
No, they get together.
He saves it though, so TJ's still going to be contending for this win. But just saying that TJ's chances to win almost flew out the window, but he did a great job saving it.
Wow, that was intense. Whoa. He's going to lose a lot of positions, but he'll find a partner as he picks his speed back up, falls to the tail end of the field, and he will fall in behind Kenneth Wright.
So that's going to. I'm sure he would have been a lot happier if that didn't have to happen, but it worked out seemingly well for him compared to what it could have been. As we close in on just 15 laps to go in this event, as TJ did leave the last lap by, but now he's all the way back to the number 10th position. That's the lead pack right now. The top 10 is you see John Merston and Carson Johnson, also two of them guys that pitted late. They could possibly be good on gas, we figured out, but who knows? This is going to be close here, Rudy.
Yeah, we don't know. That's the whole thing. And I'll bet you right then when TJ Graves got a little bit squirrely right there, I think there was about 6 or 8 guys that their heart come right up in their mouth. I mean, I know mine did. I was like, oh no, this is going to be the big one here. We have yet to see a big one here tonight. You know that?
We haven't. They've all been, I don't think we saw a wreck bigger than 4 cars yet.
Yeah.
I hope we didn't jinx it, but.
Yeah, me neither.
Who knows?
It's been a great race. Well, we're going to wait and see if these guys can make it. But way back, Ryan Borges, let's see, these guys running 33 seconds behind the leader. But there's a whole group of them back here. Dustin Lee, George Bart, Damon Gilbert, Mitchell Reeves. These guys all packed up together here and trying to work together. And I mean, that's quite the pack there. All fast guys.
That's very quite the pack there. And so right now we still have Kevin Savory and Jay Anderson working together up here for the lead. And Cecil Renee and James Hickson trying to get up here, but trying to single file out to the last pit stop, I guess. I don't really know when their last pit stop is going to happen, but it could be any second now, so I'm just keeping an eye on them any lap now. Expect to see these drivers come down pit road as we watch the TJ Graves machine come to the front again. This time he's pushing Eric M. Wilson. They have a great run on the outside. Mr. Excitement trying to make it exciting for us here up in the booth. So here comes the number 76 of Eric M. Wilson being pushed by TJ Graves, and TJ Graves is going to try to... Oh my goodness, they're all the way to the point now, Rudy. What a run for this crew.
Oh yeah, what a run they got. And, you know, we were talking earlier about having, you know, maybe 3 or 4 trucks up there working together, that too, it's hard to do it by yourself. But boy, they're proving that wrong right there. Boy, I'll tell you what, they really got a great run at, oh no.
Oh, he ditches them.
Yeah, Eric Wilson ditches TJ Graves. No way.
I'm sure TJ is upset about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, I can't say I blame him. It's late in the race, but, man, that's detrimental there for the TJ Graves machine. He needed help. He has no help now. He's going to fall all the way back to the back just to what? Push someone else to the front stake and ditch him?
Yeah. He may be able to duck in right here behind the Hickson machine, and it looks like he's going to. So that saved a little bit of grace as he falls back into 6th place now. But, man, what a bummer there as Eric Wilson dumps off TJ Graves. And they're coming up on lap traffic again out front here. But I don't think there's a chance of them going 3 wide, but they still got to go 2 wide as they go by the lap down truck. I can't even see the number on the door. And here comes our leaders down pit road. Eric Wilson on pit road. A bunch of them.
Oh, man, this is... Okay, this is where we find out what's going to happen, Rudy.
Yes, sir. This is going to be probably a splash of gas and go.
Avery's sitting there for a while.
Oh, man. Wilson on there for 6.2 seconds. That's going to put TJ Graves out in the lead. As pit strategies are falling into play now. This is what I was afraid of. See, these guys did not stop earlier. So now as they get themselves caught up to... back up the pace speed, that really kind of changed up things a lot.
Alright guys, so these guys came down pit road, and what this did change is that new leader TJ Graves and James Hickson, I don't think they're going to be able to make it. The real cars we need to watch out for right now are John Houston and Carson DeJohn Tomaso. Them are the 2 we're looking at that could possibly make it to the end right now. It's going to be really close, Rudy. Absolutely.
Well, Hickson leads his first lap of the race right there on lap 189, taking lap 189, so great job by Hickson. TJ Graves second. He did lead a couple laps. So, man, what a change of events, huh? I told you this thing was going to work around. Look at that. They pumped Ryan Borges, George Bark up to 9th and 10th.
They're saving Rudy. Rudy, the 2 leaders are going about 10 miles an hour off the pace trying to save fuel.
Oh,
everyone's saving fuel. Everyone's going about 170 right now trying to save themselves some fuel. And this is interesting.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think it's a little late in the game to be trying to save 2 or 3 laps of fuel, isn't it?
You know what? When $1,000 on the line, you got to do whatever it takes.
Oh yeah, I agree. But
I think it's one of those things where we're going to see them go about 170 until the white flag lap, and then it's just every man for themselves.
Well, I'm telling you what, this is.
Oh, the one machine's going for it. Who is that? That's the number 146 of Kenneth Wright. I believe he pitted on that last green flag, on that last yellow, and he's not saving gas. He's going 180. Everyone else is going 170. He's just going to fly by these guys.
Oh, boy. Like I said, this is going to prove to be interesting. And you know what? We didn't think it was going to come down to a fuel mileage game. Boy, we were wrong, weren't we, Petey?
Oh, man, this is... oh, golly, this has become a very... I don't know what the... interesting might be the right word for this, but Kenneth Wright passing these guys like they're nothing. Now what needs to happen here? These guys need to not get worried about him. They need to realize that he has a lot more fuel than them. They can't be fooled by him. If they get fooled by him, they're not going to make it to the end here, and that's going to be a problem for him, Rudy.
Yeah, the mind games that are being played out there right now.
And TJ's getting fooled right now.
Yeah. Yep.
TJ is getting tricked into driving full speed right now, and that is not good at all. And TJ needs to slow down. He can't be doing this. TJ can't be tricked into this mind game because he's not going to make it to the end if he is.
Coming to 9 laps to go, and it looks like Kenneth Wright has slowed down to the TJ speed, so Wow,
Still
these
going
guys.
180. This is about 10 miles an hour faster than I need to be going. Everyone's getting tricked in this right now, except Daniel Eberhardt and Brandon Monsivais. So,
Back
this
to
is-
7th place. Karsten back here in 7th place. I'm sorry, John Mushton. These guys here going full head of steam back here. Wow. And they're racing it up, and these guys are starting to reel them in. They're 22 seconds behind these guys. Dustin Lee and Damon Gilbert on the high side. They don't need to save any fuel. They've
but
made
they're
their.
too far. These guys can save fuel, Rudy, but they're too far back
Yeah.
right now.
I know it. I know it.
If these guys can pull off a miracle, and well, this would be TJ Graves. Oh, TJ has such awful luck in broadcasted races. I don't even want to say anything about TJ right now, but TJ just needs to hope on a star right now that something miraculous happens.
Well, Kenneth Wright could be just hanging on right there. It looks like they picked their speed back up now because they're still hanging on about 22 seconds ahead of 7th place Dustin Lee, which them guys are not saving. They're just flat out back there. They're reeling them in, but it's like not enough, I don't think.
Caution!
What? Oh, no. 20 to go. Caution out. Let's go see what happened here.
Oh, it was the 34 and it's Damon Gilbert involved heavily.
Oh, no.
He just got turned. Yeah, him and Ryan Borges got in a big accident. Oh, Rudy, this changes the entire everything.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have about 3 laps to go and get the restart.
We're going to watch this. Yeah, oh, right there. Looks like Ryan Borges gets hooked off of the bumper of, who is that? Not George Bart.
Damon Gilbert, I think.
John Mushton. John Mushton comes up into Ryan Borges right there.
Wow. Oh, this race, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, we'll try to zoom in on this a little bit closer and see if we can figure out exactly. I'm looking at it here, and it looks like Mushton may have come up the hill. Right
He got
there.
black flag for the accident.
Yeah, he come up the hill right. Yeah, and that happened right in front of George Bark. And it probably Bark is really lucky he did not get involved in that at all. Oh, I take that back. Oh, he did. He did. I take that back. My bad. Yeah, he thought he was going to sneak by on the outside there, but nope. And it looked like Gilbert comes up the hill right into the front of George Bark, and George just pile drives him in the side.
So I've got an update from the TJ Graves camp, Rudy. He said he's 2 laps short.
Oh my.
But the caution could bring him to about half a lap short. So basically the Graves machine, it's going to be either checkers or turn 4 running out of gas.
Yep. Well, what do you do, Petey? Do you take the chance?
You know what? Right now, you pit, you get no money, you take a chance, you win $1,000 or come up short, and I say either bring home the steering wheel or the money right now.
There you go. That's exactly right, man. That's well put. So yeah, I think you're right. He could be out there probably clutching it right now every chance he gets, or maybe even killing the engine, trying to save that half a lap of fuel.
Oh man, this is not your average iRacing race, folks. This is going to be about a 3-lap shootout when they finally get green. And
Now this,
oh man,
let's see, they're 2:12, so we got 6 to go. So
we're gonna have, even if we get next time, we won't get till 4 to go. And I do believe we still have a lap left, so it's going to be about a 3-lap shootout, and this is going to be intense.
Oh boy. And TJ out there with short on fuel. We've got guys like Kenneth Wright, James Hickson, Eberhardt in 4th, Brandon Cruz 5th, Sean Boundy in 6th, Dustin Lee 7th, Chris Jennings 8th, Mark Maffett 9th, Carson 10th. Wow. Well, unfortunately for, Damon Gilbert and George Bart, that's bad. That's bad. With that close.
TJ said, I've just talked to his radio again. They said if they don't get a caution, he said they can make it. But he said if they get a green-white checkered, he said he is so done.
Wow.
But he said even if they don't get the green-white checkered, he said it's going to be either take it to the checkered flag. He said it's going to be sputtering across the line if it makes it. He said that's the only shot at it making it.
Oh my.
This Graves machine, we know it's going to be out of gas. It's just a matter of he's close enough to the line where he can get there.
He's clutching it big time right now. I'm riding on board with him.
Ooh.
Yep, he's just clutching the heck out of it right now. Oh man, what a race. What a race, Petey. Petey, thank you so much for helping me in the booth today. It's just been amazing. It's just amazing to have you up here with me. I ain't got no other words for it. It's just amazing.
This has been a fun race to watch here, and oh, it's not over yet.
No, the excitement's not over yet. But again, I'd like to thank Pros League, Mrs. Dockside, Barks Competition Karting, and Bones Racing for sponsoring today's event. We'll be paying out $1,000 to first place, $100 to second, $75 to third. I think you said $62 for fourth and $50 for fifth.
Big money.
Yep, and we'll get a chance to talk to all the drivers here as soon as the race is over, folks, so you don't want to go anywhere. We're going to hear one driver, whoever it is, wins that $1,000, probably whooping and hollering, I'm sure. I know I would be. I don't care who's listening.
Alright, so this is going to be a 2-lap shootout from what the drivers are telling me.
Oh, my.
So, I don't even know, man.
Well, TJ, you know, TJ cannot afford...
He said if they get another caution, this is over. He said he has no chance.
Yep. He cannot afford to lay back. He's got to just go and full bore and take that chance. He has to. We don't know about Kenneth Wright. I think Kenneth may have enough fuel because he was not saving. James Hickson could be close. Eberhardt, we don't know. Brandon Cruz, I think Brandon might be close. Sean Boundy, I think, is okay. So we could see a total upset here. We don't know.
Right now, I'm hoping that the Graves machine man can just figure out something, because I know how hard he's worked to get in this event.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about him until about 15 laps to go. And we're like, well, where did TJ come from? Actually, it's gonna be a 3-lap show. They just got one to green. But man, TJ drove such a smart race, and now it's gonna come down to whether he's good on gas or not.
Yep. All right, folks, going green this time. 3 laps to decide this, and we will probably just stop the race. I'm going to stop it when they cross the line to take lap 201. I'm just going to stop the race, and we will decide right from there, because it's not going to come out right, because they're going to continue on and pass each other and everything. So we're going to have to get the rundown right from there.
And man, this is it, folks. You've tuned in all night to see what's going to happen now, and well, you're about to get your answer.
Yep.
It's going to be an interesting answer, but you're going to get your answer here. It's come down to this.
Well, you can confirm it with me, Petey, when we do this, so to make sure that we do get the right drivers, you know, to finish that lap. Lap 200 is what we're looking for to finish lap 200. When the counter says they're taking lap 201, the race is over. And even if a caution... Well, no, if caution comes out now, yeah, we could go back to green, white, checkered. That's right. Man,
I think even if it comes on the white flag lap, we're still in green, white, checkered, because it's, yeah. All right, well, here we go, folks. This is it. TJ Graves leads them down, and green flag in the air. He gets a good restart. TJ Graves is gone and away. It's just a matter of who will make it on gas and who will not.
TJ jumps right out ahead. Kenneth Wright in second. James Hickson third. Eberhardt in fourth. What happened to Jay Anderson?
This isn't good for TJ. He needs to block the machines behind him. TJ has to guide his way through this. Probably the scary part for TJ is there's no one on the outside to block the guys right next to him. So TJ is going to try to hold him off. And oh, here we go. Eberhart going to be the first one to take it to the outside. This time there's going to be 2 laps to go. Can TJ make it on gas? Can Hillman make it on gas? Can Eberhart make it on gas? Who can make it? Who can't? And who's going to win $1,000, Rudy?
Oh, this is going to be insane. What a finish. I'm right on the edge of my seat. I don't know about you. I paid for the whole seat, but I'm right on the edge of mine.
Oh my goodness, here we go. We're going to get 2 laps to go this time by, and this is going to be insane. Here we go. And I'm hearing the conflict with TJ Graves. They're talking about disqualifying the 32 machine. They're saying he jumped the restart, Rudy.
Ooh.
Was a no mistake for TJ Graves. If that goes through, they're not going to confirm it yet, though. And TJ Graves is going to go to the high side. He's trying to block every line. He's going to get pushed by that line. This is great racing we're seeing here, folks. And they're coming to take the white flag. TJ Graves trying to block every line. He's trying to Dale Earnhardt it right now. He knows it's time to go. Mr. Excitement. Did he take the wrong lane? Oh, the 146 is coming down pit road. Yeah, he's the one that jumped the restart, not TJ Graves. White flag in the air. Who's going to win it at Daytona? They save it.
And that's it, huh?
Oh, he turned him. He turned him. We're going to get another restart.
Oh, man. Oh, look at him wrecking behind there. Oh, this is going to change everything. But now the question is can TJ make it? Because he said he might.
I don't think he can. He said he's about to run out. Actually, he might have just run out now.
Yep.
He's still under power, but is it over? This is questionable here. This is an area we did not talk about.
Well, I believe we will go back to green, white, checkered again, because it did come out actually on the white flag lap. I mean,
it's over. This is the race.
Oh, that's it?
This is over. They said this is the race.
No way.
TJ Graves wins himself $1,000 from Daytona. Give it to 32.
Wow, look at that. Okay, well, wow.
The drivers are telling me it's over at least. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I'm pretty sure it's over, though, from what they're saying.
You might want to get confirmation from George or one of the admins.
But as of right now, from what people are saying, it does appear TJ... Oh, they disqualified the Graves machine.
Oh, no.
So that means Eberhardt won it.
Eberhardt won it.
No.
Are you kidding me? Okay, so Eberhardt first.
So that's going to shuffle Hickson to second, Montsevice to third.
Yep.
Lee to fourth, and Moffitt to fifth.
Wow.
But this is all unofficial so far, from what we're hearing. And, I don't know,
We're going to have to wait till we get confirmation from the admins down there to see who is going to be crowned our winner here. So hang loose, folks.
Oh, man.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Man. I'm being quiet. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here.
This is crazy.
Oh, God. So, from what I understand, is Graves was disqualified and Eberhardt would win, but...
Right. But see, I was thinking that they would go back to green, white, checkered, but maybe not. Is there anybody we can...
That's the race. That's the race.
Okay, so who wins then?
You stay up here for a second. I'm going to go talk to George Bark.
Okay, all right. All right, hang loose, folks. We're getting the decision here from the officials, and we'll find out in just a minute here who is crowned our winner. We're not sure if it's Eberhardt or TJ Graves. We're getting rumors to the fact that TJ may have been disqualified. So hang loose for a minute, and we'll find out. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here today on Maxspeedtv. You've been watching the Pros League. Great race here today, sponsored by the Pros Professional Online Series, Mrs. Dockside Realty, Barks Competition Karting, and Bones Racing. So again, thanks for tuning in here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on your way out the door, and make sure if you come back and watch us here on Maxspeedtv, we do broadcast 7 nights a week here, folks. So we've had a few nights off here for the holidays, so hopefully you all had a great holiday. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching tonight.
All right, Rudy, so I've confirmed. The winner of your race is Daniel E. Eberhardt. TJ Graves has been sent to the end of the longest line.
Oh, wow.
And we have your official top 5s here. And it will start off with, I'll be interviewing the 5th place finisher tonight. In 5th place tonight, we have Sean Bowney. Sean, do you have a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, Sean, we saw you up front for a lot of this event. Looked like you were going to be a contender. You were involved in the people on the normal pit cycle. What was your strategy moving into the ending portion of this event?
Let's see, with about 20 to go, I knew I was about 3 laps short. I had 3 guys in my room I was working with pretty much the entire race, 3-4 guys there. And when it came down to everybody going to pit, we just decided to take a gamble and see if we would just run it till it dried out, and hope for maybe a caution would come up to save us some fuel, and that's exactly what happened. We got the caution we needed in the 2 laps. I got back, I was just under caution, and pretty much, yeah, me and Everhart were up there fighting for the outside and just going to go make a strong run. That was pretty much simple as that.
Well, man, if you had to do that race over again, what would you do differently to try to bring yourself home $1,000?
That's a really good question. A really good question. I don't know. Maybe. I think I'm perfectly fine with what I did there. Yeah, when we went to the outside, and we had like just a lap to go, 44 knew he was in trouble, hung out on the bottom side, and came up and got into me, and I was just sideways from there. So otherwise, I think we would have just come home real close anyway.
Well, man, you got 50. What are your plans to do with the 50 you got for 5th?
We just got done with Christmas. Just looking to replenish my stock.
All right, man. Before I let you go, who do you got to think? Who does have you in the 24 crew?
Well, part of my team, I've got TJ and Everhart and John Mustian and Cisco, and those guys are I've been working with for quite a while now, and we just been working together really hard. It's really nice to put the DoYourPart.org 24 truck up in there to contend for the race all day long.
All right, man.
I'd like to thank you guys for putting on the show, and Pros League for hosting this event. That was pretty awesome.
All right, well, I'm going to send it down the pit road to Rudy with 4th, but I have to go confirm who 4th was really quick, so I'll be back in a second, Rudy.
Well, congratulations, Sean. Well deserved, man. I'm telling you what, that was one heck of a race. Man, it was just a lot of, not very many cautions, a lot of green flag laps, and very, very tough racing out there. You kind of got mired back in the field a little ways there a couple times, and we were worried about you, but you didn't have any problems getting caught back up to the field. That last caution that did come out, well, not the last one, but the prior one, when you guys got the 3 to go, kind of put you in the position, but you fell off a little bit there. What happened?
at the very end, it was literally down to the bone of fuel. I was really running half throttle if I could, and then Cisco came in and he was a lap down, and I just got back behind him just to save fuel, and then I was just wherever I ended up was where I ended up. But yeah, I spent 90% of that race just riding. You know, started 16th and drove my way like within the first dozen laps back up into the top 5, and I pretty much stayed there for the majority of the race. And I was just riding.
Well, good job, Sean, and congrats again on your 5th place and winning $50. Thanks for talking with us, buddy.
Absolutely, thank you.
All right, Petey, we got 4th place.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of changes. A lot of stuff is unofficial right now, so please, guys, don't take anything. These drivers that we're interviewing, George just said interview who we feel like right now. He said we're on the low. So next we're going to interview Mark Moffitt, who is unofficially 4th, and 5th and 4th, and all these positions still change, folks.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I know that. Just going with it.
We're going to send it down to Rudy on pit road. He's caught up with Mark Moffitt in the 67 as I try to get Mark up here.
Mark, you got a copy? Mark Moffitt, you got a copy?
10-4, Rudy. I got you, brother.
Well, we're being told that these are actually unofficial yet. There's still some deciding yet, but what we're looking at is the possibility that you may have come in 4th here tonight. So talk about your racing out there, because, man, I'm telling you what, it was tough racing. You got that 67 up into the front when you needed to get there.
Yeah, 10-4, buddy. I just want to thank Michael Vanassel and the rest of the True Speed Motorsports team for building a great set. We had great qualifying. We started the first 2 rows of the race. Tried to stay in the back for a long time for the bulk of the race. Of course, towards like the last 30 laps, started to make a move. Got towards the front, kind of a wall of cars there. It got difficult. Late restart made it real exciting. Had some people do things they shouldn't have done, jumped the start a little bit, and really did affect the outcome, I think. We'll have to look at the replay. But other than that, it was a great race. Really want to thank George for putting on a great race.
Well, you started 2nd tonight. You led a few laps at the beginning of the race, and then we just watched you kind of fall back. Was that by design, or was it, did you plan that to kind of fall back a little ways and try to stay out of the really hard racing up in the front?
That was exactly it, Rudy. We just wanted to keep our noses clean for the first 150 laps, ride around, try to miss the big one, as they say.
Well, probably a good call on your part, Mark. You had it there at the end when it counted, and we wanted to congratulate you on that. If this is official, which we don't know yet, but if it is official, you will win. Take home the 4th place prize money. But we're going to wait on that. But anyhow, Mark, anybody you want to thank tonight?
Like I said, I already thanked the rest of my team: Chris, Michael, Nigel, Nicholas Doucette, a bunch of real good guys. Like you said, we had great sets, great qualifying times, and had a real fun race together.
Okay, Mark, thanks for talking with us, buddy. And Petey, you got 3rd place there somewhere?
Sorry, Rudy, wrong person.
Whoopsie.
Alright, so I've caught up with, once again, this is all unofficial, Chris Jennings, actually. We're hearing that you may have finished 3rd. All this is so unofficial, they have no clue right now, but Chris, so you might have got 3rd. Tell us how you got to possible 3rd. Got a copy, Chris? Alright, I don't think Chris is here right now, so we're going to talk to another top finisher instead. We're going to try to get a word in with number 54, Brandon Montsevice, who might be a top 5 finisher. They're still reviewing everything. Brandon, do you have a copy?
I got you loud and clear, Petey.
Alright, well, Brandon, you drove a very smart, methodical race, and looks like you may have finished 5th, and that's worth $50. Now, everything's still unofficial, and the Pros League is still reviewing everything, but how do you manage to get up there and put yourself in position to possibly get that money?
Man, all I gotta say is that the saying, I'd rather be lucky than good, definitely applies to this race for me. I did the best I could to try to get myself in a good position, throughout the entire race. I tried to stay in the front of the pack, which is something I don't normally do. I don't like racing up in the front. My heart starts beating, and I'm so close to having a heart attack through the entire race. But this one I decided to play it differently, stay in the front, try to stay with the leaders. And when I started having connection issues around lap 48 or somewhere around that, I had to pull out of that pack. I even got EOL'd because my connection was really, really bad. I was able to get it fixed, and I was just able to stay with the leaders. And man, I'm so happy that last caution, not this last one that ended the race, but the one before, because I would have been short on fuel by about half a lap. So I think that caution is my saving grace. I was able to save fuel, keep the 5th starting position, and just try to keep the bottom line and slow the outside line down as much as I could to try to just keep my position.
All right, Brandon. Well, when it's all said and done, it looks like you at least got a top 6, if not a top 5 out of it. So, congratulations to you. Before I let you go catch up with your crew and everything, who do you got to thank, Brandon?
I gotta thank the people that have made this happen for me for the past couple seasons in different series. Small Town Computers, Carl Jones. He really helped me get to where I am now. Woodwrench Motorsports, Joel, Tim, Dom. They're so helpful with me in making setups and just helping me out as a team. They weren't able to race these events this week. I wish they were, but they've been rooting me on this entire week. And then my family for letting me just take the Wi-Fi and just, I don't know. I'm just so happy right now. I've never won this much money from one single race before.
All right, well, Brandon wants device provisional 5th. Rudy, I'm going to send down to you on pit road. You're caught up with our provisional 2nd place finisher of Jimbo Hickson.
All right. Hey, James, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I sure do.
Well, James, this is totally unofficial, but we've heard that there's a rumor that you may have taken 2nd place here tonight. Wow, what a piece of driving you did tonight. We watched you come from the back all the way to the front. You stayed back there out of all the trouble. Pit stops. Talk about your pit stops. You managed to actually strategize yourself into a good finish. How much fuel do you have in that truck at the end of the race?
Well, actually, when we got that yellow flag toward the end, that saved me. I was a lap and a half short and just wondering what I was going to do, but fortunately that yellow did it for me. I saved all the fuel I could there and got it to the finish line, but I did run out coming down the backstretch after we took the checker, and actually I got pushed back to the start-finish line here for the interview.
Well, with about 50 to go, when you guys were planning up your final pit stop, did you think it was going to come down to a fuel mileage race this close like this? That these guys were going to actually be running out on the final lap, or you yourself, having a chance of running out? Did you even think that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That thought always goes through your mind. I just tried to manage it the best I could, and was really kind of sitting here biting my nails, wondering how it was going to turn out if I had to stop in and grab a quick splash toward the end.
Well, you weren't alone, because Petey and I were up here. We heard who was that? Chris Jennings saying it. He was about to have a heart attack. He was so nervous. But I think we were too, because we did not know who was going to come out of this on top. We still don't know the official results of the race here. But what did you think of the event here tonight?
Absolutely wonderful. This was one of the best races I've ever been in. If I can thank a few sponsors, first I want to thank George Bark at Bark Competition for putting this on. He does a marvelous job with the Pros League. His sponsor, Kim Dolan with Mrs. Dockside. If it wasn't for her, I'm sure the payouts wouldn't be near as big. I'd like to also thank Stewart Virtual Racing, SVR, and Kerwin Clark at PAD, PADD, Against Distracted Driving. Good sponsors, good supporters. They put on good races.
Okay, well, great racing out there, James, and way to put it in there with a potential 2nd place. We don't know yet. Well, they'll get. I guess they'll get all the final results here worked out toward the end here. But thanks for talking with us, James, and congrats wherever you finish tonight. We'll get the final word on that later. Good job tonight.
Thank you very much. I'm happy, even if it does shake out a little different. But second place will be a good finish for me.
Absolutely. All right, Petey, you got our possible winner here.
Well, one thing seems consistent. They don't know about most of the positions, but one position is constant. Daniel Eberhardt he's the winner, basically, they've told me. So, Daniel, you just won yourself $1,000. Take us through your race, bud.
I don't even know what to say, man. Like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. I can't believe this, man. It just, the whole race, I knew that there's one thing I wanted, and that was the goal to win. And just to leave it out there all on the line, I got black flag at the beginning, and then I had 50 laps to go, and I got my lap back, and then I drove it all the way from the back to the lead, and I just don't even know what to say anymore than that.
Well, sorry, Daniel. Daniel, clearly this is a very big win to you. What's this win mean to you and your crew?
Oh, man. Like, I gotta go thank Sean Bounty, TJ Graves. I gotta thank the guys that I was working with, because they were the one that kept me on top the whole race. John Mushton Jr. and Cisco. I gotta thank him. And just, it's great.
Well, I guess I have two final questions for you, but the next one has to be, what do you plan to do with $1,000, man?
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to go party with it first.
Oh man, before I let you go, who do you gotta thank? Who are your sponsors?
I gotta thank all my teammates for the night. TJ Graves and all the guys I just named. I gotta especially thank them and the people who stand behind me, my girlfriend and my grandma, and that's about it.
Alright, Daniel, I'm going to go back to the party in pit road. And Rudy, before we go off air, there's one last driver we're going to talk to. I'm going to send it down to you on pit road with TJ Graves.
TJ, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
You're giving me the dirty work, Petey. TJ, talk about the end of that race. Are you have any ups or downs about it?
Well, I have a lot of downs. I just didn't win $1,000.
Yeah.
We were saving fuel, and I gave the pace car enough room so when he would have turned in, the lights came on. And the lights came on, and I went, and apparently... Oh, also, my spotter said I was blinking, and I got DQ'd for that. I'm not sure, though. But, I don't know, I had a heck of a race, started pretty much last. Got caught up in someone else's wreck, didn't hit anything, and came back through the field again, and had bad luck. That's a typical streak with me. It's nothing unusual.
Well, that's from what I understand. Petey kind of filled me in on that. He's seen you have a lot of bad luck in a lot of races. But, you know, we watched you come all the way from back there, and we were like, where did he come from? You know, all of a sudden you were up there and leading laps. So you led quite a few laps. Not the most important one. Well, we thought you were going to win it, but how close were you on fuel? That was the big question of tonight.
When I crossed the line for the unofficial checkers, I had like 0.5 left, and when we came back around for everybody to sit there, I ran out right as we came off of 4.
Holy smoke. So, I mean, you wouldn't have made it another lap. If it would have went green, white, checkered, you wouldn't have made it.
If we had green, white, checkered, I was done. I don't even know how I saved that much, because I couldn't shut my car off. My button wasn't working, and I got it working at the end when we were on 1 to go, so it saved me a little bit. But like I said, I don't save that much fuel. I run short treks, so I'm not attuned to these things.
Well, we watched you. I was kind of riding on board with you, and we heard you clutching it a lot there, you know, just before that last caution, and or while you were under that last caution, excuse me. But we heard you clutching it, and we figured that was probably what you were doing. And you and a bunch of the other ones out there were really close on fuel. A couple of them did peel off and needed that splash of gas, but you took that chance, you know, and you know, it was like Petey said, you know, you either come home with $1,000 or you don't, you know, and you took that chance, and well, obviously for other reasons, you didn't bring home the $1,000 tonight. But great run out there, TJ. You needed to be up there at that time, and you were there. You were there when you needed it, and man, my hat's off to your racing, man. You did a great job. So win or not, you still did a great job tonight.
Thank you very much. I got to thank my sponsors before
Sure.
I got to thank Double Clutch Marketing for the primary sponsorship, commonsforkids.org, Short Track Racing Network, DisabledRacers.com, Victory Lane Radio, Sean Bounty for telling me about this race, George Bark and everybody over here for putting the race on, and Daniel and all the guys we were working with.
Okay, TJ, thanks for talking with us, and sorry about your almost victory.
Thank you. We'll come back. We're not a quitter.
That's right. Never give up. Okay, thanks for talking with us, buddy. Okay, Petey, you wanna wrap this up, or are we gonna wait on official word, or what are we gonna do?
I think everything we've done is officials we're going to get tonight, Rudy, but
okay.
I guess my closing statements, and you can close this out, is we just had a good event tonight, and when it's all said and done, we had a controversial finish that I'm sure a bunch of guys will remember for a while to come.
Oh, my sentiments exactly. I second that. Sorry.
Well, I guess that will do it here tonight. This race is brought to you by GeorgeBark.com for all your karting needs. Mrs. Dockside Realty, be sure to check them out. Pros League, check them out. Go to iRacing.com, go to Leagues, and dial in Pros. You'll be able to find them. Great league to sign up for. And Bones Racing, and that's our sponsors tonight. Thank you for joining us here tonight on Maxspeedtv. Rudy can close this one out because this is Rudy's thing.
There you go. All right. Okay, thanks for watching, folks. Thanks for tuning in here at Maxspeedtv. And until the next time, stay safe, folks.